Okay, thank you very much, my people. I appreciate you all. Finally, we are back here again. So I'll leave the platform for you guys right now to go ahead. But Mr. Felix, I'll call you first to talk to us. Speak on the issue concerning Edo State. Then from there, we'll go to Moderator. Thank you. There before Black Panther also. You guys can interject yourself from there. Thank you. Mr. Felix, you are not answering again now.
I dare you.
Calling you sometimes na headache they give person, and it's
I
the
need to I need to give Wala problem first.
you know. All right, go ahead. Thank you.
I greet you, my people. Now this those things matter me your quick deliberator. Let me just small go the Obasanjo statement and others. I really appreciate the way that they analyze the whole issue for Arise News today, because that was what I talked about yesterday. It's a strong message to our traditional rulers and our chiefs, all the custodian of tradition in Nigeria. Not be every party where they for invite you, now you go. You have to respect your office as a traditional ruler so that other people could respect the office. Because they say those who live in glass house should not throw stone. When you throw stone on top of the roof of others, when they reply, your glass house will be destroyed. What I'm trying to say is that our traditional rulers, please, I'm begging, on behalf of the tradition of the country, of the tradition of every community, every villages, any government ceremony, send a delegate. It's more better. If it's a traditional ceremony, you decide to go there, to me, it's acceptable because we are talking about tradition there. Not going to some people allegedly going to birthday parties, commission of this and that. It's like you are bringing yourself so low for all these politicians. That is why what happened the other day happened. I know it might not be all the Obas or the ballet that went there that day. Some might not go. They might send their delegates. That is the best thing for you people to do. This is just a little advice from your little son called Felix. If it's a good advice for you people, accept it. If you people think maybe it's a bad advice, please accept my apology. That is all I have to say for that. About Felix Shaibu, people don't know what is really going on in Edo State cartel. When Obaseki moved to PDP, promises were being made. And one of the promises he made is what Obaseki is fighting for to the PDP cabals. That the next governorship candidate 2024 is going to come from so and so zone. Those are the promises. Because if not, if you say the camp come, our party, you become the governorship candidates and also retain your vice. Those are the things we know very well. For him to retain his vice, both because of the fight Felix Shaibu fought with him, they decided to make some promises to calm those people down. The PDP statement in Edo State. Obaseki is doing this fight, try all he can do to gain more ground in PDP come 2024, because he knows some certain cabals in the PDP. If they don't work with him, they will definitely lose the election. That is why you have to respect them and obey the promises they have made. Philip Shaibu standing alone in the front of the gate is just like a gate man. Even in the car, was he the one that drove himself there? Does he not get driver? You cannot even see a driver, see anybody around him. All Philip Shaibu is trying to do, maybe when it comes to other political party, if not APC, it will now through all these shenanigans they are doing, it will now have a sympathetic vote from the Edolites. But we know the way the game is going. Just like when I said that they had a meeting at Osadebe Avenue when they were trying to decamp and this and that, even to Labour Party to set up people here, set up people there. We have our ears on ground. I've been with them. I know the way they operate. They should fight themselves. But the good Edolite, obedient, let's be organized. We're organized to prepare our PVC for one direction. If Labour Party is having so verified candidate, if Labour Party have his own verified candidate, we to vote for him or her. If they don't have verified candidate, we should check on any verified candidate that we will direct our vote to. That is what I have to say about the oncoming election. Because this time is not about political parties. We need a verified
noise
person.
coming from?
Sir?
Where's the noise coming from?
I don't think it's my end.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you still hearing the noise?
No, you are good. Go ahead.
Okay. Because we have been following political parties here and there. That is why the state of the country is still the way they are. And it is time for us to start holding our governors, councillors, senators responsible in that country. Because it's not everything, all the problem in the country that is being created by the president. I have never seen any governor came out one day that the monthly allocation for the past 1 year, just the way they normally used to hold the public servant, civil servant salary for 6 months, 7 months. I've never seen any governor come out to say, for the past 6 months, 1 year, I've never received any allocation from the federal government. Those grassroots are the people we should start holding responsible now if we really need the total change, turnaround of the country. I guess that is all I have to say for now. Then if I have a opportunity later, I will add 1 or 2 things too.
Okay, thank you, Oga Felix. All right, I think Margarita, you want to say something before Black Panther, right?
I think Mr. Black Panther, good evening, first of all. I think Mr. Black Panther was asking a question. I don't know if it was his turn to speak or how do you want to put it?
Black Panther, are you ready to speak now?
Okay, Black Panther should go ahead. Well, I know he asked a question to Dr. CM.
Yeah, I asked a question to Dr. CM.
Okay, I'll leave the platform for you guys. Thank you.
Let Margarita answer it on my behalf.
You don't run on your behalf. You don't become counselor now.
He's not running. I beg to answer the question. He's not running.
Why are you afraid, Black Panther? Why are you afraid of the answer?
I know the person why I call. Now me call Mother Rita come back. Because I call him. He answer her.
No, you know you they pick on soft target. So you go
okay, that's what you plan to be. Okay, now, Madam Rita, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Dr. CM, good evening. You make me laugh for the way you were talking about it. You say it's like a landlord that locked the gate because he did not
Exactly.
pay rent.
But it's true that you wake up early, go
It's
duplicate
true
all the
now.
door keys. Yes,
Or
now go lock the flat.
it's just like the governor lock out people for coming late. And then they say, okay, you people, you not come before 8 o'clock, so you're all outside. Anyway, good evening again. Oh, good evening, everybody. Yes, we have to laugh. We have to laugh because these people and their games is just too comical. So your question, Mr. Black Panther, you were saying, is it constitutionally right for him for Governor Baseki to lock out Philip Shaibu at the gates at the electric gate? Is that your question? I just wanted to be clear if that's your question, so I don't
Yes,
say
yes, yes, yes.
okay. Now, first of all, I'm very happy you use the word constitutionally right. First of all, before we even go to the rights of Philip Shaibu as Deputy Governor of Edo State, before we even go there, the administration itself, is the administration in line with the Constitution of Nigeria? Or let's just say, let me break it down. Is it in line with the Constitution of Edo State? The answer is no, and I'll tell you why it's no. Why do we have a limited, selected number of House of Assembly members who have been in the state for over almost 3 years now? Nobody said anything. Even if people who spoke, they gave excuses, just like the way people are giving excuses of the fraudulent Agbado in Aso Rock. It's the same thing. It's the same thing playing out. So it is very you are trying to be I'm trying to look for the right word. It is disingenuous for you to say, is it constitutionally right for Governor Baseki to lock out Philip Shaibu? Is it that does not this you're going too far. Start with the House of Assembly, the administration itself. Is it complete? There was no representation for the people. Will you say that is a legal administration? Isn't it fraudulent? So if that question is not answered truthfully, then we shouldn't even go to the question of if Philip Shaibu, if it was constitutionally right for Philip Shaibu to be locked out. By the way, Philip Shaibu has not been locked out because we all know that he has an office which, there's a signboard, Office of the Deputy Governor, that was assigned to him. But because, he has now been, this sort of big manism, let me use that word. I know it doesn't exist, but the Nigerian term, big manism, in his stance of saying, I should be in a more proper place. I know my rights. But there was an office just close to the government house that says Office of the Deputy Governor. Now you're coming out there, you bring in the media, and then you're not trying to play these kind of games that you people played in 2020. So, the chicken has come home to roost. So I don't want to overstretch until it's my turn. But if you want to talk about constitutional rights, let us start with the administration of Governor Baseki. If it was constitutionally right to pick up men in the dead of the night and swear in them in the status of assembly, some of them wear short sneakers, some of them borrowed a suit from somebody, and then you just picked of them, and then you say, okay, that is a constitutionally legal administration. Let us start for there before we talk about Philip Shaibu's rights. Because anyway, Philip Shaibu was not kicked out. He has an office. He's just making a noise. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Rita. You know why I answered.
Black
Okay.
Panther, wait, your body to the hot. Wait first.
No, be you say me, I give now. I don't enter trouble this man.
Now you don't thank you because say she did your side. Madam Rita, I want to ask you. She was not kicked out. Who can lock that color with the push for gate? Who lock her?
By the way, that is behind. That's the back of the government house. That's not even the front. So, and he know that gate is always locked. So that is why that charade he was playing out was just for the sake of the media. Photo ops, just like what Agbado is doing. He's just doing that for the photo ops to say, look at how they are treating me now. I don't like to be intimidated. In his own words, Philip Shaibu, in his own words, when he switched from APC to PDP, I think that thing was in ITV. In his own word, he said the reason why I am supporting Governor Baseki is because even the Shomile, we do not like. I hate oppression. That was his words.
Although,
I hate oppression.
Rita, that word you talk just now, I believe I support you. because you said that is the back of the building. That's not the main entrance.
Exactly. What are you playing out? Why are you fooling?
Something is fishy. Waiting, Black Panther talk. Maybe it's coming to reality then. Something is fishy.
Yes, because
I said me and Mr. Naija will go fight for this. This company. I don't tell that.
It's a drama. It's a
No,
drama
normally,
king. You
because
know, you say
that
a
one
woman
not
is
be
a
the
drama
entrance.
queen. He's a drama. He's just
I
creating
tell you,
drama.
Namokuna, look that place where he stay. I don't want to talk am because I hold my point. You see, Madarita, I say, Nami call Madarita come because I mentioned one thing. I know see Madarita will come in because I want somebody to tell me the picture. That place where he stay in a back gate. Thank you, Madam
What is
Rita.
that?
You see the game? You see the game now?
But I
So
don't
which
think it
means-
has got nothing to do with Bini. And listen, let's us not even. This has to do with his own personal aggrandizement, his own personal desperation. It has nothing to do with tribe right now. We see, we have passed that level of because this is what they say. This is how the Bini people are treating me. I don't think so. I will argue. I don't believe so. It has nothing to do with tribe or anything. So I don't want to go there because it is not about tribe. Is he not the deputy governor of the entire state? Is he the deputy governor of only Bini people? So why are we bringing tribe into it? It's got nothing to do with tribe. He's playing a game. He wants sympathy. He's playing a game to say, see how they're treating me. Why did he call Channels TV? Why did you go to the behind the government house gate? That gate is always locked. What is he trying to do? What's he trying to do? You're not standing like lonely. I am standing alone. I'm alone. They have locked me out. My landlord said I did not pay rent. According to Dr. CM, he did pay rent. He's standing like I'm a lone wolf. Look at me, I'm a lone wolf. They have disrespected me. They are embarrassing me. Look at how they're treating me. I hate injustice. This is what I fought for. This is what I fought for in 2020. Trust me, those will be his speech. He's waiting for the time where he will make a speech and we say, I know I fight for injustice. And that is why I fought my father, former Governor Shomele, because I believed he was playing the injustice politics. So, my Governor Baseki.
Do not talk and finish that.
Madarita, I want to talk everything finish. I like this woman. No.
This woman don't finish that.
But is this
okay? I will stop.
Is this not part of? Is it not the type of thing Peter Obi said you can't enter through the window and you want to start?
see, make I expatiate again on Madarita, my matter. Wait till talk now. See, this deputy governor knows one thing. He get all the A's for your hand. Well. One, this deputy governor is our Oba take him as son. He take him as son. So he know where they come from. You see all this.
Please, don't see. No. You and I are children of the Oba. Let us not even say.
I know. No, I'm talking politically.
We are all special in the eyes of our Oba. So let us not go there.
No, politically.
Listen,
that is.
Anyhow you want to politically, personally, we are children of our Oba. So let us not go there because
quoting,
is one special element. He's a special element.
Wait. You go understand me. I'm quoting him. Oh, I'm quoting him. And it's not only him I'm quoting. I quote other people, but I won't mention their name that made that statement. So from that perspective, this man is sitting there, is allowing all the shenanigans to happen because it's a written script by the political class. That is how they play their game. They will never change. They are looking for sympathy because Madarita made mention of one thing. It's preparing a speech. That is why you see him not, being vulgar, talking, blah, blah, blah. He's talking as if he's a man that is preaching human rights now. He will soon enter that position and start preaching human rights. And he will soon enter Godfatherism. He will soon enter that level. This is now first now Nollywood part 2. You see, what is going on? That is why I asked one question. Is the governor constitutionally right to put a man that has a joint ticket with you to throw him out, take him back door? That is why I asked, so that now I understand. Because I said, look at the picture scenario. Look at only in the stand. Where is his PA? Where is his bodyguard? Why this only in the take picture?
Has not been thrown out. Felicia Ibu has not been thrown out.
I know. I'm just picturing so that I understand.
The emblem.
Black Panther.
He has not been thrown out. He has not been thrown out.
Black
Yeah.
Panther. You know, when I went to say something, say the guy they just give up. They gave him he has an office
No,
now. You know,
the scenario.
Madam
Look,
Rita, you know,
Madam Rita, I
yeah,
understand what you dey talk. Oh. The scenario when you want paint give us now. Now scenario in the paint give the gullible one, but we know what thing they do. In the paint and say they lock him out. When he know the constitution that he cannot be locked out because it is a joint ticket.
but
Despite
Black
all the
Panther,
shenanigans.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
The new office that they gave to him, like Madam Rita said, why can't he go to the new office?
No mind, and I gave me one. No say I be like houseboy for that play. Now give me one play.
All these their khaki that they are wearing.
No mind them.
Why
Now
one
game.
Baba Gan wear it? All this khaki like
Now
solidarity
game. You see,
with the people. How much for the material he's wearing? They tell you how much of the price, you will be shocked. All those ones are just, cover
let
up.
me dabble. Thank God. Let me swab a little bit away from this thing. Give us another. Thank God you are here. You see? Oh, you don't put this man.
It's like Nollywood movie. It's like Nollywood movie.
I tell you, it's a Nollywood movie.
He's the main actor. He's the main actor.
No, it's true. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's a movie.
You know, see and say nobody there inside. Only they talk.
Now.
The question one person could ask be say on ordinary day, on a normal day, now from backyard in the entire office.
Thank you. God bless you.
Lonely at the top.
Oga, see him that question where you ask so, and I'm here to think for you. Only me here to think for you.
So today he know the front of the office today.
Why you can go past backyard?
Exactly, backyard today.
Why? Get luck say Madarita open her up. If not, many of them and I move the forecast everybody move go.
No, now the way Madarita your court open now because this one will be made transfer.
That is why I tell you say watch the scenario, watch the picture, the position where the man stand. Watch in position. He never.
This guy now original Bobo.
You know,
original Bobo. Original Bobo.
No be so Obaseki send me, but when he write in speech as Madarita they tell us, Obaseki go ask say, may una ask and say, person they enter office through backyard. Now so in the enter office, waiting they go look for backyard. May una ask that one go be another question.
Original Bobo.
The thing really be like plan work.
Not true. And then you know touch the gay.
My brother.
Made them for no see DNA fingerprint for your hand.
My brother, these guys, they won't be the Edolite Mugu. They want to be us Mugu, but they're too small.
You know, see where
and another thing, these people they know they feel pulled up by themselves.
Prince Philip.
Everything that DNA sample.
I see you are entering with your khaki, your hands in your pocket like a big man. Comfortably, you have a dad that opening the door for you, and then you are driving like a Lexus, 470, probably 2023 or 2022. You have the emblem of the seal of power, and you are feeling like a big man.
Let me ask you a question.
You see that scenario? People, eh? Oh God.
You see, brother C, and let me ask you a question again. You see that scenario, eh? Yeah. One, the SSS. That is dedicated for the deputy governor can never, my father is a cop, can never leave the governor until he enters his office.
Exactly.
That is what they swore. They swore an oath. Can never leave him until he enters his office. And the only person that can tell them the direction is the PA. That's why the PA, the AD camp is there with him. But the DSS also be there. Because they owe their life to him. But you see the scenario now, none of those people did there. Only just come through the backyard door.
No, Mr. Black, let's get it right. Can you tell me the constitution where it said the DSS has to be with Philip Shaibu? He's not the governor.
No. Every deputy governor, they allocate DSS to them.
Okay, the man that opened the door for him, isn't that there? One is enough for Philip.
No, that one is an AD camp. That is AD camp.
Okay, it's an AD camp. That's enough. Nobody's going to go after him. We're talking about.
No. DSS never leave him.
spending
No,
in government.
DSS,
Why do we need much?
DSS,
All these
DSS
excessive
can never live in.
luxuries. Listen, this
No,
excessive luxury, if you really look at the books, my dear brother, you'll be so shocked that most of them, it's not even in the constitution. All these things were just excesses. I'm telling you.
Yes. Then go
If
that
we
rocket
no,
look
themselves.
at
So
what
many power.
what they deserve, many of them don't
It is-
deserve the number of aides and what they call them, whatever they camp or the protect or the DSS. They don't even need as much as you would think. All this is just psychophantic system
no,
of
no,
government.
no, Madam Rita.
Even if
It is,
it's
Because they are scared. They are scared. They are
Why
no,
are
scared.
you scared?
no.
Because
Not
if
matter
your
of
hands
being
are
scared.
not clean,
See,
why are you scared?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
no.
Exactly.
People are getting it wrong. It's not Nigeria that made that. It's always like America called their secret service. The secret service
Please,
can
this
never
is
leave
the
the
those states,
governor.
I beg. I don't know what.
No,
See,
no,
we are going too far. Please
it's
forget
all
America
over. It's
right
all
now.
over the world. It's all over the
What
world.
is in the no? What is in the Edo State Constitution? I don't have access to those documents that say this is what the governor or the deputy governor deserves. You know,
No,
in terms of
that one is
protecting.
not in the constitution. That one is not
And
in the
then, so what
constitution.
are you saying? Then why are you telling him
It's
that
a
they're supposed to have
it's a security
SSS?
apparatus that is compulsory.
He
It's not
has
you
one
that
right there.
it's
Where
compulsory that
are you
you
going
are
with
not the
this
one
thing,
paying them
sir?
now. You are
No,
not the
where
one
are
paying
you
them.
going with this? Because what you're saying now is like as if this excessive luxury, unnecessary luxury, they're supposed to get it. Listen,
See,
Philip is not standing as if he's just one demigod or something. His attitude, his countenance, the way he's
you know
even
where
talking,
Madam
it's so
Rita, you know where I'm
obvious.
going to.
Let us
You know
not
where I'm going
downplay
to.
it, please.
You know where I'm going to.
Where are
You
you
know where I'm
going?
going to now. I
Where are you going?
want to confirm it very clearly that this was a written script. How
But
the
what's in the Nollywood
security
movie now?
look how the security works. This is what I'm telling you. Anybody can come out from anywhere, come and contest with me, come and say I'm telling a lie. The security apparatus, the last man that will lead him to his office is his aide camp, and the DSS is always at the door. Cannot leave him until he gets into the office. So when this man they come back door, it is even more it's the responsibility of the DSS to follow and enter that back door, because we know they don't know what did that back door. Why is the security apparatus? Why did they leave him?
Anyone who comes to the back door, you are an illegitimate child. Why is he going through the back? So he knows what is pursuing him.
It's true. And to make matter worse, he no agree touch the gate.
Augustine,
he just
let's
look
hear
out.
from
sorry.
Mr.
Okay,
Prince.
sorry.
Sir. Mr. Prince, thank you very much for joining us. Good evening to you, sir.
Talk to everyone. It's quite a long time. I'm always at the background, but most time it's a bit difficult for me to come here. Is that there's space today, and I'm a bit, coming up at this time because I saw the second broadcast coming. I said, okay, let me come in and since I'm a bit free. I greet all the panelists. The only woman among us, I greet you, Sister Rita. According to Madam Rita, then CM, everybody, I greet you. I'll be enjoying us. It's just that it's difficult for me to come here at times. Okay.
Thank you.
I think the issue is that the fact is, this government agents these politicians that are holding government positions, especially the executive arm of government, must have at least one or two security apparatus, for safety reasons and for progressive security reasons. Somebody must be there so that if anything happens, there must be a counter reaction to any action because it's actually government personnel. The security officer might still be there, might just want to go off camera because the issue is between the governor and the deputy. So for the security agent to come out from the camera to be seen might be very, very unnecessary. So I think even at local government level, as a local government chairman, he's supposed to have at least one police officer that is supposed to be there for him as a protective agent. So having said that, for me, all these things they are doing is politics. Whether he's being locked out, he's being locked in, they are pushing him here and there. There's a parable in Benin that says what that means is that the same whip that you use for John, you also use it for Peter when the time comes. Just as Sister Rita said before, we don't even need to talk about the law in Edo right now, because if you look at for the past, I think Sister Rita was saying 3 years. It's a mistake. It's not 3 years. It's getting to 6 years now since half of the House of Assembly has been running Edo, because the first member were not sworn in. The first member that came in at the first, second tenure of what's his name, Obaseki. They were not sworn in, and they've done another one since all this was. It's more than 4 years now that they've been out. So the impunity there is very, very obvious. So the law is just a mere. In fact, the law is made for the poor, not for the rich. These people, they are above the law. They do whatever they want to do. So if I see the Shaibu in the street now, and Obaseki is flogging him, I would see it as a surprise, because anything can happen. If Obaseki as a magician, Obaseki is a political magician. People don't know that man. And it's only when you know that man that you begin to say, oh, you need to know who he is. Obaseki himself. It's a political, it's a glorified tout, educated glorified tout. That's how I would describe him. He's highly glorified. He has all it takes to manipulate anything. If Wike can dobale for that guy and run away, then you should know who he is. If he can manipulate PDP and have his way and carry this same man, and make sure that even when they say they want to give him deputy at that time, he refused. He carried Philip Shaibu along to manipulate his godfather, who is even his father, to say, by inheritance. If you can manipulate that man at that time, and this time around, Philip Shaibu, I just feel for him. He's going down. This guy will finish him. This is just the beginning of his career, of downfall of his career.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry, I don't. You said you feel for him. Why would you feel for him?
I feel for him. Not that I feel for him, that maybe I feel sorry for him or anything. But I just feel the negative part he's going to face right now, because and that's why I used that word just now, that so you need to wait for this. Is this a payback time for all he has done politically?
Because do you guys remember what his wife said during the election? She said on the media, we are old enough to be her grandmother. She said the women will be flogged if they are seen voting for APC. That is Philip Shaibu's wife. The video is there, Mr. Naija Watch. I'm sure you can pull that video out there. It's out there. So wait. So that's why I just need to be clear when you say you feel for him, and I'm happy you actually cleared the air. Thank you,
Madam Rita. You mean Shaibu's wife said that?
Yeah.
He said it.
Oh my God.
Go to Google and say what Philip Shaibu said 2020 election. She said that. Women old enough to be her grandmother, not even mother. She said that 2020 election. So we are dealing with
these women like what Remy said in Lagos.
Together.
You see, the issue is that the states of Nigeria right now, and Edo State is not out of it. It's a mess, a complete mess, total mess. Nothing is going on. Kidnapping everywhere. People are dying every day. They don't care. If locking Philip Shaibu outside is the problem, I think Edo State don't have problem. We don't have any problem yet. People are dying every day. I have somebody that is in the tent of kidnappers right now. They are asking for 12 million.
Hey.
It was 30 million as 2 weeks ago. So we'll be able to negotiate it to 12 million. Who am I crying for? I wish I would come and let me bring this person out. The country is a total mess, and it's touching everybody. Even those that are not directly involved are even suffering more than everyone.
I mean, like we said here earlier, imagine the vice president as the head of terrorists, Shetima.
Yeah.
And you now see the president, Mahmoud Select, as the head of drug baron. Because after all said and done, the pie of this Mohbad was even linked up to this drug lord called Amoda Weda, the Tifnumbu Okoremi, and Sheyi's father.
Yeah.
This is the evil that we are fighting against in our country. Everything is these guys are evil.
And it is going to continue until the youth that owns the nation says it is the end. Nothing will happen until people will rise up and say, okay, this is the end of it. No prayer, no justice, no supremacy, no court, nothing, no There is no law that will change it. It is the people that will rise up and say this is the end. And that is exactly what they are doing in most African nations right now. Whether through military coup, in whichever way they know they can do it, but it is time for us to send them away. Until that is done, where this suffering is going to continue. It's a continuous exercise. And the major issue right now is just killings, kidnapping, politicians in there. Look at what, just let me quickly touch this Obasanjo statement the other day. I respect Obasanjo a lot as a politician because he started this republic that we are now. He started very well. He laid good foundation, although people tried to spoil it for him. He tried to go for third term. He has his own problem. But personally, I respect him because of the foundation he laid to make sure that democracy become concrete in our land. But what he did just a few days ago, what I saw in this television, that he said that the traditional rulers, he confidently said traditional rulers should get up, even ordered them with action. Say, Jide.
Ejoko.
I don't know. I can't remember the words. Jide, Ejoko. That tells you that the traditional rulers have brought themselves so low to this position to the extent that they can publicly disgrace them. Whereas if they are looking for position, they go and kneel down step by step, room by room, house by house, visit these traditional rulers and beg for their votes. Look at the British monarch. If a minister is to be sworn in without the authority of the monarch, the minister cannot go in because they know that the position of the traditional ruler is permanent. But in Nigeria, the law that Babangida and Abacha set aside, for their selfish ends to rule us, that is the law they are still following because it benefits them. I can't see anything funny because even Obasanjo is part of the military junta that put us in the kind of position that we are today. For him to stand up and see, I feel very, very uncomfortable with the owner of Ife to be there and allow himself to be relegated to such a background that Obasanjo would say he's not standing as a person only of Ife, but by nature only of Ife can kneel down for Obasanjo and do anything because it's like a grandfather to him. But with the position that they are holding, Oni is holding as the head of traditional council of
my brother, can I interject you? You know, when Akpabio was going to be the Senate president, he went severally, but went to on his palace, right? Now, that is how it's supposed to be, that the politician will go to seek the Oba. I mean, our own principal went to the Oba of Benin to just get their blessing, and they know that they can talk to their own people. Oh, even though Oba of Benin will not take sides, But now, today, just imagine what happened during this Ogbomoso, the throne of Ogbomoso. They have to take that kingship to the court. That they are brothers. Now they have to go to court, and the judges have to now decide who have to be the sworn of Ogbomoso, which ordinarily should not be. It should not be like that. That is what they have done themselves to.
Even the nations that have brought democracy to them, it's not done in those
nations.
My
brother, give us our mandate. That is what I talked about yesterday. That some of them are politically corrupt. That is why they are facing all this. It is some of them that bring the disgrace of Obasanjo disgrace there to all of them.
They brought them upon themselves. They brought disgrace upon themselves.
Yeah, not them all. My brother, not them all. Some of them. Not them all. Some of them cause all these things that make the Obasanjo to disgrace them. Joko that be I don't know as they talk. Stand up, sit down. That was the military blood in Obasanjo because military were the people that reduced their power.
So rude.
That's what people need to understand.
I think personally, I think Obasanjo is having diminished return mentally. He's having dementia. I think he need to be looked into because for what he has done, it shows that they don't have respect for the traditional rulers, and they've forgotten that this Western government that they have borrowed, that they don't even understand how it works up till now. They be in it for more than 40, 50 years. They can't even make it work. They've forgotten that before these white colonial masters came with their laws and rules and regulation and government, we were already civilized. And these are the traditional rulers and this council.
Thank you very much, sir.
They've already They forgot it so soon that from the world go right from time, especially Benin, for instance. Benin conquered up to Togo and Cotonou with a traditional ruling council, and they did diligently and they delivered. They've forgotten that the traditional ruling council are the closest people to the people in the grassroots, and what they do is what is making this nation to exist. Without the traditional ruling council, this by now all these people in government, they would have been doomed. They would have been changed to their various doom by now, if not for this traditional ruling.
Honestly, what you are saying, what you are saying, side is just very, very spot on. The chiefs, the obas, the kings, and all the olus mean spot on, very spot on. But these guys, they infiltrate everywhere with money. Everywhere they make sure they brought down with money. Everywhere. Imagine what this guy did in Lagos State, Tinubu, for example. Imagine what he did. They are the Oro worshippers. They now have to defy their own gods because one drug baron had to be president. They have to defy their god. That is the worst a human being can do. That the god that they serve, they now have to defy their god and say, God, you know what?
And all these Oba did not come out to counter it. That was why they got the disgrace they got.
Yeah, that is what corruption can do. Corruption is a very poisonous thing in a society.
You don't come out in the night. Give me.
It will make you lose your self-esteem.
Yeah, it will make you lose your confidence, and your personality, your credibility.
Anybody can talk to you because you are purchasable. They say you are a commodity. Can just give you. That's why Faneka Yodo just say if you give them money, he go sing for you. If you give them food, it will sing well for you.
You see?
So now they never give them food. They just they wait. One day now he go sing. Anyway, it's a terrible shame anyway. Very, very terrible. So I like who was saying this, like somebody said before, this fight between Shaibu and the Obaseki, Shaibu can never win because I know it's a long drawn battle from now till November next year. Maybe every month, Obaseki go release one banger, one shocker.
Yes, no.
You have to tame him now. You don't need. And again, Obaseki has come to the end of. It's not going to seek for re-election again. So it's not going to.
Don't be surprised. They may even rogue him into some things in the long run. They may rogue him into some things. I mean, these guys are just
for Shuaibu, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. That from the way I look at Obaseki, maybe it doesn't talk much, but don't look at somebody say it's a real enlightened Agberu, but he knows how to handle the situation. Imagine they are doing 60 years anniversary of creation of a Midwestern region, and then celebrating the referendum. Shaibu no come in. Obaseki they look and through the gate when the people intercept them. So that tells you, say, look, somebody is in charge. Now he disband the media team. He never tell them something. Now I have to go and want to enter through backyard. He still no work. So there are quite a lot going on. And if each one when he execute, you go there replan another one. The only thing is that
Shaibu will come out by himself, they talk what they do.
And Obaseki no go they talk.
No, now let's go talk. The catfish where they pitch and how they take the scratch and the place where they pin on. Now let's go use the map to confess.
So this one go just carry on. They go just the commission project. If you like, they do anything. They do like say nothing. Nothing they happen. Nothing they happen. Because now you are political. And by the way, if not true, saying want like what is this man? I like listening to him. Dom Pedro. I listen to I like listening to the chap. He's quite anyway now we're in Lusha, so when I go see him, I go talk to him. So he said ordinarily Oshomola and the Shuaibu came from the same the same town.
Yes, so the same home.
No, it doesn't make sense. I mean, even morally, more common sense go tell you. You shouldn't. What you for the argue be say when you finish, if you want lobby for ambassador or anything, maybe they make you go cool
Or
off
Senate.
somewhere.
We would have gone for Senate.
Okay, yeah. If that no, Oshimole they're not now. Now, you can't unseat Baba. Baba never retired for politics, so you can't unseat. Thank you, Alaba. You can't unseat him. Yeah. Continue, Alaba.
Am I allowed to talk now?
If when you don't dare parlor, they say whether I allow you.
You can interrupt, sir. Welcome, sir.
You don't
Thank you.
enter
Go ahead.
parlor.
All protocols, Julius. First of all, I want to say a very big thank you to all of you. I'm always enjoying you all listening in the background and commenting. CM, Madam Rita, give us our mandate back. Black Panther, Nigeria, all of you are my favorite. Particularly top notch is CM and Madam Rita. I just love hearing those voices whenever you guys talk. It's just there's just the magic in your voice. All of you, but make a day partial small. CM and Madam Rita. I don't want to put woman for top. That's why I add CM.
I know. I can feel it, sir. Don't worry. It's all right. It's allowed.
So,
no one put woman on top. Maybe say you not go chop tomorrow. Your wife not cook for you.
You must comment, Mr. Philly. I know. Say I was waiting for you to talk. I know you were going to talk.
I know the thank Madam Rita now. A woman now.
So the reason I wanted to quickly join the panel, when you all started talking about this Obasanjo situation, I have a few things to say about it. And my link will be threefold. It will connect our colonial history to our present government, to our current state of impunity that exists in the country. And it's a little bit slightly academic and intellectual. And after I do that connection, I would love to hear each of you, your comment on what is the way forward if we are ever able to redefine our situation in that country. What should be the roles be for the citizens? What should the roles be for our obas and kings? And what should the role be for our institution? So let me start from the beginning. So you all were talking about how Obasanjo disgraced all these obas. But I think you are all picking on the dramatics of the whole scene, the drama, the Nollywood aspect of the whole show. There is this academic aspect that we are all missing. And that's the point I believe Obasanjo made when he ordered those obas to stand up and sit down. Okay? Now, three key things are important: a country, a state, and a nation. In Nigeria, we don't have a nation. We all can agree or disagree on that. We have a country. Country means territory. That means land that lies ahead. Now we have a state. According to one man who spoke, and I saw his video, he's saying that our current constitution, the 1999 constitution, section 2, give sovereignty not to the people, but to the state. Now, this is where colonial history connects. When the white man came, our obas and kings were in charge of the land, and the obis and all, and all the elders were in charge of the land. He took that power, constituted it to himself. Then when he left, we had a slight constitution up till 1963, until the 66 boys came and Dabaru and put everybody for reverse, according to Fela, the 66 boys, the military. So since 1963, we have confused those three terms: country, state, and nation. We have confused them, and we often think that they are synonymous. They are not. According to one man, I'm only quoting the man verbatim, they are not. You see, the man said a nation, you see, is an association of people that share a core value. Now, given this core value that they share, they will make for themselves a constitution. And under that constitution, the constitution will now establish institutions that will now make up the state. So you see that arrangement, it starts with associations of people on top, at the top, come together, they have common shared value, constitution, which is a written agreement on how they want to move forward or they will move forward, and then institutions that enforce this constitution. And this is done by people they employ that work within the state. But we don't have that system. We don't have a nation, but we have a state. That's why we've always operated head of state. So if the state is the one that has autonomy, sovereignty rather, the state has sovereignty, that means the people don't have sovereignty. That's why we have the problem where, that's why the state is so powerful and our people look so weak to change their dilemma or their condition. So if you have a madman as the head of state, and when I say head of state, I also mean as a governor, as a chairman, or as the real head of state, or as a president, if you have a madman, because that state is the one with sovereignty, that state would now turn all the people mad because it's the one with the power. The states can change the people cannot change the state. And that's why institutions, so now just check where Nigeria is now. Gradually, first we have khaki boys, now we have criminals in positions of authority of the state. So when Obasanjo did that Nollywood dramatization of, all you Obas, get up, all of them stood up, all of you sit down, all of them sat down. That's the point he was trying to make, that if the governor was there, all of them would stand up for the governor because the governor is the state, not the Obas. The governor is the state. The governor has the power, not you Obas. You Obas don't have anything, and your people too don't have anything. You're just slaves to the state, basically. So that's the key point to pick academically from
Mr.
that
Alaba,
scenario. Yes,
Mr. Alaba, sorry, let me quickly come in here.
yes.
You continue from there. Less than 24 hours, because this is just coming right now. Less than 24 hours that Olusegun Obasanjo's wife apologized to all the Yoruba kings and all of them. Obasanjo picked offense from it, that his wife is an imposter, that in fact he disowned his wife, saying that he doesn't have no single right.
Inge wife now. I thought Stella, the former wife, don't die.
No, he get wife.
You get
He
right.
get plenty wife now.
Hey, no, wow, it's saying a plenty.
He get he wife, might put on for screen before I read what I want.
Let's say na Black Panther they record they sabi Black Panther you sabi all the wives. Have you the drag wife with her?
You don't forget saying a soldier, transfer go, transfer come. They get married for every different state. You don't forget.
My wife be that. So this is the woman,
Yeah.
So Weti Obasanjo is saying now that, okay, let me read from here so that we can get it right. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has disowned his wife, Taiwo Obasan, barely 24 hours after she pleaded with all Yoruba worldwide to forgive him over his statement at Isei, Oyo State, during Friday's inauguration of project executed by the state governor, Seyi Makinde. Taiwo is a report title, Oyo Kings, a plea for forgiveness. I begged for permanent and eternal forgiveness. Pardon from all Yoruba sons and daughters worldwide. Fathers, mothers, youth, teenagers, children, Christians, Muslims, traditional rulers, worshippers, all leaders in Yoruba land and the Council of Kings in Yoruba land. Please forgive and forgive my husband. Then Obasanjo came out saying, reacting to this development, Obasanjo said, Taiwo is neither his wife nor a member of Obasanjo's family, but rather an imposter despite having 2 children with him. I hereby with immediate effect disown her. Hey.
They have been entrenched for so many years now. This is the same one that her son was in the army and wanted to marry somebody, and she said her son was not going to marry that person, and your Obasanjo still attended the wedding. You know, I know her. She's been granting interviews in the past. They have been estranged for a very long time. So what
Yeah, but
Obasanjo is
then,
doing?
no, but why she can't go? They apologize on Obasanjo's
Because
behalf.
they've been estranged. She's the one that has been speaking out, and they are having some sort of issues. So she knows what she's doing, you know, and she's probably doing it to say because of the sake of her children. You know, they have been estranged for a very long time. So she's the one that comes out all the time to talk and go after him. So I'm not surprised. When I saw her picture, I was like, oh, is this one? Okay.
So Obasanjo 2 hours ago disowned her and everything to do with her. That means Obasanjo me what he do there.
They
A
mean
joke.
waiting say.
Obasanjo that military man. Once a soldier is always a soldier.
And I tell you, say that man not they forgive anybody. If you don't
No.
do one thing, you know they turn back. You know they turn back.
He's a soldier.
Now
stays-
who now Kingmaker Ibio is a
Yes.
kingmaker. In the tradition, is the kingmaker. Now only if he talk to Oba anyhow, only him. They don't fit do anything.
Yeah, so you now all see where we are. These are the people that bat democracy for us, you know, where they don't believe in the power of the people. They believe in the power of the state, rightly so. He's a soldier. Soldiers believe in the power of the state. They're all about orders. So people like that, I'm not saying they don't know, but they cannot give us what we need to go forward or how we can go forward, because it's their innate belief that the state controls everything. The people don't have a say. Now, all this democracy they say we have, they know we don't have a democracy, because when the states have the last say, the people don't have anything. Now, going forward, if God ever bless us and we get a new Nigeria, or we split, or whichever direction the country goes, now, what would be if the people, my own view is that going forward, all should be equal before the law. Now, we have to respect the thrones of our obas also, you know, not some of these. I don't want to mention, some obas are useless, but some obas are really good, you know. So what role constitutionally, if we are able to build...
I'll prefer you use the word traditional rulers.
Traditional rulers, yeah, that's what yeah. What role should we provide? Because in England, the king is the sovereign, the king or the queen. They just appoint prime minister to do the king or queen's job. You know, who would be sovereign in Nigeria? Would it be the people? What if it's the people? Would they be equal under the law with the people, the traditional rulers? And if not, but first of all, we all agree we have to change this system we have currently, because this system is a recipe for impunity, and it doesn't afford us citizenship. Yeah, you know, that's just the question. I would want everybody to contribute, or just say which direction, if we are able to get a new country with a new constitution and everything, what role are we going to give our traditional, are supposed to remember, if you give them power too, they would have the tendency to abuse it. That's why I love the everyone is equal under the law concept. But we are not Europeans. We have obas before the Europeans come. So going forward, what are we going to have? That's what I wanted to contribute.
I'll quickly say this. You know, I think the first, for me, the first step is that our 1999 constitution that has been, you know, arranged by the military juntas is a scam. That is where we should start from. The 1999 constitution does not reflect the will of the people. Every society is distinctive in nature when you talk about each society. Okay, the way Nigeria was, amalgamated, the way we came together by man and husband and wife, they brought us together. Then, okay, those ones, they're past stories now. But first of all, we are society. We've got a culture, we've got tradition, and we've got values. This very constitution, 1999 constitution, didn't or does not reflect the cultural tradition, values of any ethnic group in Nigeria. It's always serving the interests of the military before they left, and the politicians continue from it because it is beneficiary to them. That's why you see that people are just floating because they don't know where to go. That's why the same constitution has brought us to where we are when it comes to election malpractices and judicial abnormalities. It is the same constitution that is pushing us towards the edge. It is the same constitution that is not mandating the people to have that power that they're supposed to have. You know, the first step is for the constitution to be looked into, amended, and in fact, Nigeria needs a fresh constitution if we have to be together. It is either two ways: look into the constitution, or we just, have separate. Everybody should go on their separate way and go and learn lesson and come back, just like East Germany and West Germany that came back to become Germany again. Something needs to be done, and if nothing is done, we will just be speaking on a level of shambles, and we are going to remain the way we are today. And the wife coming to apologize, that one is just afraid of African magic powers. She's afraid that maybe the traditional rulers are going to face them and maybe something's going to happen to them and all that. But Obasanjo himself as a deity is not afraid of these people because he has seen all of them. He has met with them. They've already messed up themselves before him. They don't care. It's just like when this present president went to see Oni of Ife, and he gave him a handshake. We can remember what happened, the kind of handshake he gave to Oni then, wanting him to stand up and see him and all that, ignoring him and all that. They don't respect these people because these people have brought themselves low because of corruption. The same society that we are, every single Nigeria is corrupt. And until this constitution is being amended, and that is why we are struggling to make sure that, especially like Peter Obi, you see how different he is. Even with the present situation, you see, the place is visit, the kind of respect he commands. These are the kind of people, the kind of head that will come first and say, okay, let us make a change. Until this kind of thing is done, constitution destroyed. In fact, this constitution, they just destroyed and throw it away and draw a new constitution that will reflect the culture, the tradition, and values of our society, that will put the people first. Every society, they have their own way they practice democracy. Nigeria, the same way religion came, Nigeria took religion as if religion was not the order of the day, where you see husband and wife, the wife will insult the husband, the wife will insult, the husband will insult the wife, they'll go to church and see that the Jew and kneel down and begin to greet them. The same way they embrace a foreign religion and forget about the father. We already have religion and culture before they came. So we need to keep sensitizing the people. We need to keep making them to understand that it is time for us to look inward now instead of looking outward all the time. It is time for us to look inward, look at what we've got before that brought us to where we were before the coming of these people, so that we can see if we can revitalize and certain things, merging it with the democracy. I'm not in disagreement with democratic rule, but we can modify it with our situation, our needs, societal and cultural values, and let it reflect the will of the people, so that people can go on. We can't just continue like this. This is absolute nonsense.
Of course, I will say.
Okay.
I will say, like Alaba asked, the role traditional rulers will play. Let me start from the first principle. They are traditional rulers. They reflect a cultural value and civilization of a particular domain or area from where they operate. And because a traditional ruler, though they are traditional, a traditional ruler in my area, we operate according to the norms and customs of our tradition, which is maybe slightly different. It cannot be exactly the same with, say, the one from Alaba's area. So to that extent, let their area of operation and the authority remain there. Let's not bring them into politics. So the Constitution can say, because you sort of, in some places, they do election to sort of elect them. In some places, it is hereditary, maybe one family, one ruling house. So you see the differences. In as much as the people, the area or the community that the traditional ruler superintends are happy with the way they organize it, let it stop there. Let's not bring them into politics,
So
because when
what
you
would
bring
be
them,
what
Can I
TM,
can
what
I
would be
can
their
I can I
connection then
interject
to
here?
what would be their
wait,
would they be like prime minister? Would they be like
okay, yeah,
ambassadors,
it,
cultural
it,
ambassadors or prime
it should,
minister?
yeah,
Can
because
I
What would be their taxpayers' role?
taxpayer.
can I
Would they
Okay,
be paid
interject?
by the state?
Blapan, do you want me to answer this question, or okay,
To
your
answer the
intervention?
question, answer the question.
Okay, so like Alaba is asking, I will say, because I still have to go back to what I said earlier. Traditional, let their influence, their advice, whether it's advisory or cultural, call it maybe use ambassador, but let it not let it reflect the community to which they are answerable to, because every traditional ruler is answerable to his community. That's what I'm trying to say. The area where he say, okay, let's say they say a sharing of a sharing, showing of a bomb or show. So when you say I told you Oshogbo, it's so for Oshogbo, not for a way Ado Ekiti. So that area, that is where your authority should lie. That's your domain. Let's not bring politics into it. Well, because of civilization, one might say, does it mean they should be operating as if they were in the ancient in those days of yore? Eh, the community will decide the area, because I want it to be that first and foremost the traditional ruler is answerable to the people of the community that sort of gave him that power, to which they look up to him. That's what I don't want it to pass that area. The only way it could pass is because when government start to say, I'm the governor, we pay them, we do this. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. You can be insulted or whatever. So if you want to do anything, let it not be statutory that you pay the traditional ruler. But if you want to give anything ex gratia, or maybe you deal with them, let it be. But let it not be as a role that they have a role in government. I don't like that. That is where
Me,
Remember, they used
Mr.
to
Mr.
remember
TM.
traditional rulers used to collect tax before, and they used to have their own army. So how do they
and
incorporate that now?
that was
Can
the
I
days of
can I come?
indirect rule. That was the days of indirect rule, probably because of the
Mr.
colonial
CM,
system. Okay, yeah,
Mr. CM.
yeah,
You see, thank God, Mr. I've forgotten the name again.
Alaba.
Mr. Alaba, God bless you, sir. You know why? You know why I'm saying God bless you? You are an
Yes, thank you.
African man, and you want history to be recorded. And the history that you want to be recorded, you have spoken in that the Nigerian should sit down in as let it be an historical event to sit down and carve out your constitution according to your ethnicity, according to who you are as a person in Africa. Something that will suit you, something that will incorporate and modernize the traditional system that we have. That is my interpretation of what you've spoken. And I thank God I've spoken that here once when I said the traditional head, if we are carving a constitution, it doesn't mean that they should play a role in politics, but they should carve out a constitution where they will be independent without the political class interfering in their independence. As a royal head, as a custodian of the tradition, as the one that was on the land before the intruders came in. They should be given that privilege. They should be given that authority. Because if you say they should not be mentioned in the constitution, and you want them to be ordinary the way they are, the monopoly will still be there. The politicians will still be there, monopolizing them, using them as kingpin, ping pong, and doing whatsoever they do. I can't imagine where a royal head we want to ascend the throne of his father, then you now say the governor will give him the staff of office. It's as if you are saying our tradition cannot go to another level without the governor giving the authority.
I agree
That
to
is, you are
that.
limiting the tradition of a huh?
Go
Is
ahead.
somebody
Go ahead.
talking?
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
That means you are trying to limit, or you're trying to constrain the tradition and dictate to the custodian of the land. You are trying to dictate to them what to do. We need to make them independent and make them function as royal head of an institution, the traditional, not them playing politics. But we need to mention them to give them the place they really belong to. They can be advised at the, yeah.
Yeah, there's one thing you also need to recognize. Putting out these new laws, or in such a way that our traditional rulers are involved, that's not a problem. The issue here is, what is the character, what is the process of getting being a custodian of the traditional stool? What is the process? It's the same way we have the constitution now, but implementation is difficult. What are the consequences? Nobody has gone to jail for one thing or the other. The law is selective. So going down to the traditional rulership, these things you can beautifully write it in the constitution. They have their roles, but what is the character of the person on that stool? And if that person goes against what they signed up for, what are the consequences? And even if there are consequences written in paper, will it be implemented? Listen, Mr. Alaba, thank you very much for your question, because these are the kinds of intellectual questions that we need to talk about, because we have to have this thinking forward attitude regarding our way of life, our culture, and our style of governance.
Yeah.
I think,
Makes
Mr.
us think critically.
Yes, I think yes, Mr. Excuse me, sir. I think I've forgotten your name. It's been a while you've been here. The man who just spoke,
Alaba.
the one with the
Alaba.
glasses, with the sunshades. No, Mr.
Okay,
Alaba.
Collins. Prince Collins.
Prince Collins. Yeah, Prince Collins.
Yeah.
There's something you said about the constitution, that has to change. Yes, it has to, but it's easy for us to write all these beautiful words, in the constitution and quotes and all that. But when it comes to, like I said, going back again, responsibility of taking action, putting those words into action. That is why we are in this quagmire. That's why we're in this mess right now. What are the consequences? Who are the people in authority that would say, you know what, you have broken this law, no matter what your level is in the society, the law also applies to you. The consequences also applies to you. Somebody talked about the confab. I think it was Mr. Black Panther. Yes, the confab of the 2014 is there. And I believe that during that time, Jonathan's time, I think they had traditional rulers from every part of Nigeria. They all came together and everybody decided and said, okay, this is the report. This is what we think, is best for our people, what works for us. But that report has gone to voicemail, as usual. That's in Nigerian style. It's gone to voicemail. Nothing's going to happen. But then again, the question Mr. Alaba asks is like, what are the solutions? If we have to change the constitution, for example, what would be the role of the traditional rulers? The answer to this is my own opinion. First of all, we have to know there's a lot of elements to this. When we want to become a nation, proper nation, we are in a complex society. We have over 200 ethnic groups, or 300, according to Professor Otite. And then these 200 ethnic groups, you bring them together to sit down. This is not about Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, because that is just a colonial design as far as I'm concerned. So if we want to have a template now of this is the nation that we want, talking about citizenship, thank you, Mr. Alaba. I know Dele Farotimi said, we are not citizens of a nation yet. And that's true, we are not. Because the law is selective one. So everybody is acting according to what they feel will best suit them. And then the law applies to certain people and the implementation applies to other people. Now, going back to the solution, if we have these over 300 ethnic groups come to sit down, traditional rulers, people of authority or professors or even a senior prefect now representing the youths or any youth leader of some sort, everybody comes together and sit down. Everybody has different traditional rights, different way of living. When we come to sit down and respect that, okay, this is how we do it. Okay, let us compromise. And this is the way we need to follow through. And everybody who doesn't follow through this decision that we all have signed up for, these are the consequences. No one is a special what they call this, a special hen, or nobody's a golden goose here. So when we have to go to that, we have to come together first, according to how our culture is, and because every traditional ruler right now, every one of them is different. Their aspirations for their people is different and unique. So when you want to talk about their role in this so-called new nation building, whatever it is that suits their people, their uniqueness that will determine what they will agree will be their role. We cannot say this is what will be their role, because we will not be fair. We will not be fair if you say, okay, this is how I want it, because naturally human beings always want what's best for them. But when you come together and you tell me what's best for you, and I hear what's best for you, and I say, okay, let us come to a compromise. I cannot categorically tell you what will be their role, because in real time, when everybody sits down, everybody has different suggestions. It's when we come to compromise to say, this is how we want it, this is how the traditional rulers should be involved in the system of government, then we are heading forward. But we have to first of all come together. So that question is very tricky, and it will be unfair for anybody to suggest that this should be their role, because sometimes our answers might not fit into me. It might not fit into my people. But when my people have the understanding from the traditional stool to say, okay, this is what we have agreed on, or this is what would happen, and everybody will follow suit, because every Nigerian believes in their traditional ruler. Every Nigerian revere and listens to what their traditional ruler has to say. So that will be my answer to Mr. Alaba's question. I'm just putting it out there. There's not really a direct thing, but hypothetically, I would just say this is what should be done. And for me, if you want to ask me what kind of system of government Nigeria should practice now, it should be, I think, first of all, we should look at what worked for us then. Regional system of government, did it work for us? Some people say yes, it worked. Working, bringing whatever it is that we can produce, depending on where you're coming from. Your IGR will increase.
Madam Rita,
Yes,
I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to interject, because when this question came to me, it came to me from the perspective of equal rights, because what I believe we have currently in Nigeria is a system of government called big manism. Everybody wants to be a big man, and the big man is above the law. He doesn't serve any consequence to the law. He lives under impunity. Either he's the governor, local government chairman, president, or whatever. So big manism. So if we have to think of the Obas, would they be more superior than their people? Are we not creating a new system of big manism?
Okay, you see this so-called system of big manism. This big manism we'll talk about, it's something that started from somewhere. We have big manism even within our homes. Big manism against the gatesman, our house help, or our children's friend who is not in the same level or the same level in society. We have that big manism. It started from somewhere. So it just grew and elevated. It just evolved over time. It evolved from our homes. It evolved even within the family. Some persons are special, or some persons are kind of revered more than the other, because maybe one has more financial status or some sort of influence over the other. And then you now look at how it affects our political system, our way of life, the choices that we make, and it starts to go up the ladder. Now it has not become like a norm. This big money is not something that we hide anymore. It's just there, black and white, broad daylight. There's a clear there's an alignment that big monism works. There's an alignment, and that's why you see a lot of people, our young people, going into these secret societies and secret cult, because there's an alignment that if you're under this, then you will be sort of a big guy, untouchable guy. So when you now say, how can we curb it? We have to start from the home. We cannot go to the surface. You start from the home. If you want to, this big managing thing, and it also reflects in the implementation of our laws. That's why you see the law is selective. That's why the law, it can apply to a man that stole pure water in the market. But that law does
Ma-
not apply to a man that stole 100 billion
Madam
naira.
Rita,
Yes,
I
sir.
want to dabble into one issue that is really
Go ahead.
bothering the Nigerian state. Even some of us, all of us here, we are always talking about, will this thing be implemented? Will the ordinary man that is having millions in his account, will he bend down to the law? How would the law, how are we going to react to the new
Can I
law?
answer that question?
No, I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
How are we going to implement it? You see, there's one thing, there's one thing, when they say the spirit of the law, this is where I will speak on the spirit of the law. When a law is being made and the one that implement the law is independence is being pronounced in the constitution and it's being broadened and open, not in all these lawyer terms, but in a simple English. It's being stated the independency of those that will carry out those who go against the law of the land. And that is being spelled out, not being inaugurated by anybody but the constitution itself. Then we'll see ourselves, because we have come together to agree on it, you will see the joy in every Nigerian. Because we have not done it, we cannot say, oh, will they obey? But one thing is that if you come together to do it, the joy of agreement, the joy of obeying it, and we look at the constitution very clearly, we all come together and forge ahead. You see people obeying the law itself.
But Black Panther, remember we're talking of traditional rulers.
I know. I just want to dabble into that small issue.
Yeah, CM is
itself.
connected because listen, what Obasanjo did, he was telling those people that the governor has more power than all of them. So, and I said, I live here in Chicago, in Illinois. If the governor of Illinois comes and asks me to stand up, I will sue it. I will sue him. I will sue him. You see where I'm going?
You can't say that. You can't even say it now.
No. Let's say it's as a function, and he comes in and he said, "He's the governor. Stand up," like Obasanjo told the Oba. So if Obasanjo or the governor can tell the Oba that, you can imagine what they would do to ordinary people. So that power really is with the state. So how do we make it equal? So
I think
can sue him because of the equality of the law.
Mr. Alabasa,
yeah.
I think you should, if you want to do comparison, let us go with the British monarch. If the Queen or the King comes to where the PM would stand up.
All of them, even the
America doesn't have a monarch system at all.
Correct,
so if you want
because
to
they have a monarch system.
Yes,
can I just jump in, please?
It's unfair to just use that as an example.
Baba Chris, you there? Yeah.
Yes.
More grace, sir.
May I jump in?
Sorry, guys, I have to leave now. I'll be at the background in the comment section. I have to leave. So,
Madam,
thank you very much, Rita.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
Sorry.
You not greet me.
Come on, sir. Koyo. Have a good night, everybody. But I am still in the background. I'm watching.
You see, that is what we are talking now. Greeting. They know greet Obasanjo. Obasanjo say stand up, sit down. So that is a greeting we are talking about.
You guys love accolades. You guys love titles. You love, recognition. Oh my goodness.
Now African mentality. Now all of us get them now. It is born in an African man.
It's all right. It's all right. It's allowed. Anyway, have a good night. But I'll be in the comment section. I'm watching and I'm learning too.
Okay, Chris, let's tell you. Thank you.
Yeah, for me. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. I've been listening at the background. You see, these what's it called? These traditional rulers and the government, this dichotomy of powers. I think it's just a clear demonstration of the greed of we as a people. You see, it's okay to blame the colonial master for everything they've done. But you see, those ones that we can change on our own, those ones that are beyond, that are in our power, that we ought to change, we have refused to change them because we are benefiting from them. Now, if you want to ask me about the function of traditional ruler, I think the function lies in the name. They are traditional rulers. They should be the custodian of the tradition of whichever jurisdiction they superintend over.
Yeah.
And for example, the custom of the Benin people, the ethics, everything that has to do with the Benin customs and traditions should be preserved by the Oba of Benin. And he donates some of his powers to the Enogis. Those are the local government chairman. In every other area, other Benin speaking areas, you have the chiefs there. Through this way, the customs and tradition of the people can be passed to generations after generation after generation, independent of what the state, the orthodox governance of the state is. But the truth is that if you look at the way this whole thing is structured, now the colonial masters, they placed the traditional rulers under local government administration. Under local government. That is why you can see that, for example, in places in Kano, it has happened not only with Ganduje, it has happened before that the governor will remove the emir. The emir, because the emir is under the local government. This was clearly what the British people did in order to be able to have full power over the people. But we have left that clause in our constitution till today because the people in power, the people that be, they use that part to do whatever they want to do, to control whatever they want to control. Is that not an abomination? Is the white man stopping them from stopping that ridiculous law? The white man is not stopping them, but they refuse to do anything about it because they are benefiting from it. So the point is this: if we have the name is there. They are traditional rulers. They should maintain the custom of the people, the tradition of the people. They don't have to dabble into politics. There has to be a clear-cut demarcation between them and governance. For example, in the UK, we can see what happens in the UK. There's this ceremonial thing. Before you become a prime minister, you have to go and report to the Queen. Before you form a government, you have to go and speak to the Queen and okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
but these are ceremonial
things. They've got a king now.
Yeah, they got a king now, I know. Yeah, they got a king. Now, these are ceremonial things that you have to do. That is what their custom requires. That is what their tradition requires. So what does our own tradition require? What does our custom require? There are a lot of barrage of ceremonies, like the New Yam Festival that's very popular in the East. We have our own Igwe Festival that we do to mark the end of the year, and other festivals like that. The traditional rulers should be the custodians of such time-tested festivals. They have a way of cleaning the society by themselves. Even if crime becomes too rampant, the traditional rulers can be used as stopgap to fish out the people that are perpetuating this crime. For example, if we talk about these Fulani herdsmen in the community, traditional rulers can use the chiefs of those communities and the one they call Odzonwe, like the village head of those communities, to fish out the dangerous people. Because these are the grassroots people, they know the foreigners amongst them. If you leave the British system alone, in Denmark, for example, I live in Denmark, they have a queen. At the end of every year, the queen, every 31st of every year, the queen addresses the whole of the Danish people. Denmark is as civilized as it can be. Yes. But you dare not, no matter how big you are as a politician, you dare not say anything about the Queen of Denmark. They respect their queen they take their queen to such an high extent, to the extent that the queen's husband was supposed to be somebody from France. The queen's husband is late. He was a Frenchman. But they didn't make him king because the Danish people said they can't bow down to him. So they just have to retain the queen because the queen's father had no male child. So the queen assumed the throne, although she was married to a French national, but they didn't make the French national a king. It was just the queen's husband. So every year, the state, there's a fund for maintaining that traditional Danish throne. There's a fund for maintaining that every year. And it's an act of parliament. It's not in the whims and caprices of any governor, any administrator. No. At the end of every year, they send this fund to the royal family. And that's how they run the royals too. And when they are doing state functions, things like museum, culture, art, history, and all those things, they are all under the purview of the monarchy of Denmark. I've had cause to attend the ceremony every 31st of December every year. It's just a speech, national speech. And on that day, you see the whole of Denmark, they flock to the Queen's Palace to listen to her. It's just ceremonial. In that way, they keep the tradition going from generation to generation, from generation to generation. So in my view, having a clear-cut dichotomy between traditional institution and political institution is not difficult at all. It's just that these politicians, they want it all. They want it all. That is why they keep dabbling. They keep dabbling. They want to control everything because they know the power that the traditional institutions have. So we can change this. It was this idea of before you become a king, it will not take the royal father, before you become a king, it will take the local government chairman or the governor to proclaim, to give you the authority before you can be sworn in to be crowned as a king.
That and that is where it becomes dangerous because he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Yeah, so if you feel that the governor can maybe assist them or do one thing, Nigeria, they can exploit everything, and in the end, it won't. So, like you started before, Chris, you stated earlier, they are traditional. They reflect the culture, the morals, and the values or the civilization of the people they pretend. That is the.
Please,
that is
Dr.
what-
C, let me just quickly conclude. Sorry, one sentence.
Sorry.
You see, prior to this time, the Benin Traditional Council, they get their fund directly from the state government. And from the council, these funds are disbursed to the various chiefs across the entire kingdom. But Obaseki, because of his elephant-sized ego, he's just trying to stop that now. He has made a proposal in such a way that he will now be the one sending these funds to the various traditional heads, so that in that way he will break their loyalty to the palace, which is wrong in any way you look at it. Thank you.
So that means financing and finance and money will still be an issue, even if they are separated from governance. How would they be able to run the traditional things they need to run? How would they collect money? Where would they get funds from? And like CM said, who dictates the pipe? Who makes the law dictate the pipe? Who makes the piper dictates the law? Something like that.
Mr. Chris, sorry, Mr. Chris, that information, I beg, where you forget the source from?
Mr. Nanjawosh, the information, it's not just the place I got the source. There was even a letter written to that effect. There's a letter. Yeah, there's a letter, not just a letter. Even the administration of Obaseki came out they were trying to defend the position. Before they even stopped the entire fund they are supposed to send to the palace. They stopped it for some time. They said they were trying to fashion out the best way to do it properly. And after that, they now came up with this plan that this is how they are going to be doing it now. They were even celebrating. Some of the DJs, they came out on television to even
All right.
celebrate. One or two of them, they came out to celebrate. And some of these things, Mr. Naija Watch, before somebody comes to a public forum like this, and to say things that has high power, I don't know how to say, because these are not just something somebody say without having
Exactly.
a strong background.
Anyway, I know you've never done that before, but
you remember last week, 2 or 3 days ago, when we talked about Soyinka, what he did. The following day, somebody came to Arise TV, that lady, and she mentioned the same thing on Arise TV. She said the same thing what Soyinka did in his youth.
Yeah, I think Chris, to support you, I think if you listen to this guy, there's one guy that is always defending the
No, I don't even want to call his name. I don't even
want to call his name as well. So
this guy in Leeds in UK, right?
He has been
the guy in Leeds in UK, he even showed the document. He was even proud that this is what Obaseki has done. That guy in Leeds, he just left for the UK and is making noise all over the place. I will not mention his name here. I can't glorify him on this channel.
You see, this is part of the impunity.
Is this saying that Obaseki did very well?
Of course, he was brandishing that letter for this disbursement of funds. He was brandishing it and praising Obaseki for taking that step.
You see, this is the kind of impunity that we are talking about. You see, this guy is brandishing that letter now because his ignorance of what is coming. What Obaseki is trying to do is that just the way they've been able to hold the judiciary into their palm, where they cannot command them what to do because they raise funds to make them exist. The same way they've held every important institution in our in our society because they are the source of funding. That's exactly what they want to do because the most independent institution in our land right now or in Nigeria is the Traditional Ruling Council, and they are trying to bring them to their coven now by telling them that this is how you're going to get your money directly from the government. At the end of the day, they can through there hook them and manipulate them like toys. That's exactly what they are doing. It's just that these traditional rulers, many of them, sorry to say, especially the Nigerians in Edo, for example, as a case study, many of them are ignorant. They don't even know where they are. They don't know where they are going. They can't negotiate for themselves. It is only it's only our daddy monarch there that is fighting for them, and they don't know the importance of what the monarch is doing. Meanwhile, Obaseki is just wasting his time. He's got short time to live, and he's going to get out of that place, and things are going to be put in place. He will not succeed. He can never succeed those kind of things. He just play politics to put these people under his carpet and manipulate them. Because once that is done, they're going to keep manipulating them just the way they are doing to judiciary right now. And that is what politicians are aiming to do. And many of these kings, because many of these, Nigerians as traditional rulers, they don't know what they need to do because they lack the formation that they are supposed to get. Many of them don't even have light at home. They don't watch TV. They just sit back home and wait for the cash to come. So he's just manipulating them, and I hope it's not going to stay. It's not going to come to stay. Thank you very much.
What a robust discussion. Very, very robust. Alaba, you try with this your question. You really see that quite a lot of very educative and very, very topical. From every angle, there is always a contribution. People like me, it's true. It's very, very good.
Another thing. Sorry, Mr. Sian. And another thing, the mistake that we are making that we don't even realize, most especially the people, just as Mr. Lava said, we, the society, the individuals, the electorate, will refuse to do the needful. That is why these things are happening to us. That is why the politicians keep having their ways. If you look at society that are immense today, it is because the cultural values are not propagated. Our cultural stratification and propagation depends on the power of these traditional rulers. They are the one that will help us to propagate our custom and tradition. They are the one that will help us, take care of our societal values, that will help us have a good society. And because we are living a good society, that is why these politicians, that is why they still exist today. And the step they are taking now is going to take them to a new era where it will not get to a time where the youth will now get up and say, okay, this is the end. This is the last point that we are going. But they think they are doing it. It's just temporarily. It will benefit them temporarily. But at the long run, it's going to be a kind of doom to them actually, because
that's why I think that the traditional rulers should understand that the current state of Nigeria is also not in their interest. So until they help us fight to help demolish this structure of impunity, because the too much power are too vested in an entity called the state. Maybe if they fight to have it be vested on individuals, then they can mandate their own traditional rules and everybody will benefit. But the way it's currently is like we still have colonial masters or military rule. So whoever is governor, alderman, not alderman, chairman, what's that role? Local government guy or
local government, council chairman,
councillor, all those people would still control, because like I said, the governor here in Illinois cannot tell me to stand up. His power he's not that powerful. In fact, he works for me.
He works for me. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Can I say something? Yes, so that we'll get it very clear, because it's very. I thank God Mr. Labad came here to what you said it gladdens my heart, because we need to start sending this message. When you dwell in corruption for so long, you begin to normalize it as a way of living.
Yes,
you see, absolutely. And for us to now, take that system out of our system itself, then we now have to start talking about we converging at a point whereby we can talk to ourselves and write and make history. You know, one thing I see here, I go to some countries, I see their historical, where their history started from, and I saw people that sat down, they converge in a place and wrote and agree on a statement. They now agree on a constitution and now brought it forward. The history is still going on, because when you go into a country, when they show you the founding fathers that wrote and converged and wrote this thing, you'll be glad that yes, I'm reading a history coming from somewhere. But in Nigeria, we don't have that. We don't have it. That is why we started by saying that we are not yet a country. We are just we're a nation. We just converge. We are just trying to make ends meet amongst ourselves. Because if we are a nation, we begin to see ourselves as a citizen, a custodian, and the one who owns the sovereignty of the land. And the power is derived from the people that own the land, and that's the people itself. Okay, there was one article I was reading, and I bumped into one video. I don't know if it is Yugoslavia or Slovenia. They waited outside the parliament for their parliamentarian that made some Glancoria laws. You know what they did? They brought a dustbin and started throwing all of them inside the dustbin. As the parliamentarian came, they threw them inside the dustbin. They said, we don't need these ones again. They just carried them up, dump them inside that dustbin. They close it and push it away. As they come, they know them, they dump them. Because they know that these people, we gave them the power. And they are behaving negative towards the power we gave them. Therefore, we don't need them again. They should go. The police couldn't do anything because they are limited. So we need to start preaching this gospel into every Nigerian to to take out this level of, to make them see the impunity, to make them see that you are not yet a country, my brother. It was just like when when the Niger Delta were being really impoverished, they were really taken down and they were damaging everything. They didn't know what they had. But when they now brought those Bayelsa into Abuja and they saw what was there, and they saw what the oil money was doing, they began to think. Their thinking and their entire mental thinking changed. That they own the land and they own that oil. That was where the struggle really started. Despite all the dimensions they are going now, they knew that they own the resources that they have been spending all over the nation. And now they fought and fought and fought. They are still fighting despite everything that is going on. That is what we need to do to every Nigerian, to know that they own the land. If the land does not belong to the political class, they derive their power from us. And they need to know that there is a role a citizen does. A citizen can do anything that under the law to recall a politician that we don't want you. We want this man. They need to know the power they have. That is why we need to keep on preaching this thing to them, because we need to what the Americans call, we need to I don't know what they call, I've forgotten it. They need to debrief them of all these things, know their mental capacity, and put things new into them so that they will be thinking differently, like those that own the power, those that own, they know their inheritance, and they will walk like those that owns the inheritance. That is what we want to see in the entire Africa, and say, oh, we start from Nigeria, because Nigeria is a convergence of more than 200,000 black. So we need to really start. We have a long way to go, but we need to start from somewhere.
Yeah, Black Panther. Yeah. Before Alaba will speak, but Black Panther, sorry, you will be disappointed. Nigeria will not start it. They've already started it. Nigeria can't start it. Nigeria is too weak. We can't start it. What Nigeria has seen so far is enough to even push us more than the level we are seeing. But we are so weak. The church has made us to understand that heaven is our home, that we are just a pass by in this earth, so we have nothing to benefit.
You are.
Black Panther.
Yeah. I just want to add. I want to add.
Yeah.
Sorry. I want to add for everybody that
now Ukraine. I post your video for them.
It's Ukraine, Adi. God bless you.
I post the link for chat.
I want everybody to go and watch that video.
It's there in the chat. I posted the link there.
I want to tell everybody that this battle we are in for, it's a long one. It's not easy. It took apartheid almost 40 years to fight apartheid, and we are fighting a system that's not as visible as apartheid. We are fighting big manism, and all of us wants to become a big man. We think it's a God-given right. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that everybody keep contributing, keep doing what you're doing, but particularly those of us abroad, if you know people who can help, people like Niger Watch to start a Nigerian television station or radio station or other media houses, because we do need information. We have to get into the hearts and souls of our people. We got to get inside their bedroom. We have to get inside their sitting room. You have to know the power of information. You all hear stories way back. I like going back in history and look at stories. You know, in one of my reading, although this is a bad example, I found out that the popularity that Hitler, as devilish as he is, had among his people, although it was propaganda power, it was because of the transistor radio that was invented as at that time. Goebbels made sure that every household in Germany has a transistor radio. There they were able to pump information into their head to mess them up and have the crazy support they have. But what I'm saying is that we have bad media that are feeding us negative stores, like those channel, Arise, TVC, or whatever they call themselves. We need an alternative media houses that is strong, widespread, powerful as they, that will give alternate stories to the ones they are sharing. Information is power. It's here in the Bible. My people die because of lack of knowledge. We have to focus on knowledge. You know, those who have connections, those who know people, you know, we have to invest in technology, information, and the press. That's our only way out. Once we get into the bedroom and the sitting room of our people, we can get into their hearts. And once we are in their hearts, you will see that the lambs will turn to lions. All this we can do is because our people do not know. Majority do not know. And the bad people, they've already recruited people to their side that are yet unborn. I keep telling people that this is one of the reasons Stephen Biko left medical school final year. He could make more money if he becomes a doctor. He said, no, I have to leave medical school and fight apartheid, because at the end of the day, I will be a second-class citizen in my own father's land. Look at us today. Most of us are in exile. Those of us are at home are not just, they're not citizens. They are like slaves in their own father's land. This is a tall order that we have to change. Whatever we can do, talk to your friends, people who know about technology, radio station, those who live in abroad. Talk to your white people's friends, those who want to discard radio stations they've had in the 80s, 70s, let them give them to us. We need to spread information. Conversations like this got to be in every bedroom and sitting room of every Nigerian. That's
Thank
what
you
I
very
wanted
much.
to say.
That's a good contribution. You see, for me, I've thought about things like this for so long a time, and I still keep, you know, cracking my brain on how we can improve on what you just said. But I now notice one thing, that this present devilish government, according to Naija Watch, these devilish politicians, they've done something very ridiculous to our people. And what they've done, they've been able to withdraw that power from our people by seizing light. That light, 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 is very important. The Bible says, when light comes, darkness what? Disappear. So they made that darkness that's where they took the power away from Nigerians. They don't have light. In some areas, they don't have light for 3 hours. Even if they have TV, they can't watch it. They can't watch program. They can't follow up.
Yeah, you know what they are doing? They are weaponizing poverty. That's what they are.
Yeah,
they are
exactly
weaponizing, and they have not stopped. With the help of these fake pastors, they are weaponizing poverty. And they have more soldiers on their side. So our only fight back is not going to be bullets and guns. It's going to be information, technology. Even all these Peter Obi struggle we have, if not for technology, they would have been miles away with what they've stolen. No.
Yeah, imagine if we have 24 hours light with what social media, WhatsApp and Facebook and Twitter is doing. By now,
let us think. Let us not wait for them to provide light. Let us start thinking how to have media houses where, even if it's only 10 mega data that our people have, we will make sure that it is us they are tuned to, not the evil people. You know, even if we have to go inside every mole or every damfo to spread our message, it is us that they are listening to, not those devilish people. These things can be done. Technology is coming up. They won't give us that light. Don't wait on them. We have to think.
I was even suggesting something like, you know, having a multiple flyers on a daily basis, flyers that you can distribute, that everyone can be part of the distribution of just simple flyers. Because if we have flyers that can fly in motor parks, in marketplaces, people, thank God that these days, 1 out of 3 persons can read. You know, if we can have flyers that can fly at regular basis.
Flyers would help, audio would help, visual would help, having advertising agency, anything, everything would help. Believe me, everything. Not, you know, multi-hydra-headed solution. Because the devil is busy and they've taken the souls of our people.
They don't sleep in the night. Just the way we are now, they are not sleeping there. They're doing it. So that, because when I imagine Nigeria, my country, the way it is, if I imagine the way some of us here abroad.
How can we be slaves in our own father's land? Does that even make sense?
Yeah,
I'm enjoying more in a foreign land than I am in the land that I was birthed. Does that even make sense? I'm afraid to bring my daughter to my own father's land because I'm afraid Nigeria never happened to me. This is crazy.
Afraid to invest. You have cash, you'll be afraid to invest back to your country. Where something you are supposed to do gradually. You not look back and think twice before you will make a step. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing.
It's a terrible situation. We have to just, keep doing what we are doing, keep supporting Niger Watch, he has to expand. He cannot just sit. He has to, by this time next year, he should have a radio station, a TV station, something we can beam. Then we can now send flyers, go to this station and hear all the other positive talkers on the internet. We compile them all together. We bombard our people. That's the only thing they hear. When they are out on the street, that's what they hear. When they are in their work, that's what they hear. You will see how the revolution would happen so quick.
Absolutely, you are right. You are right. I agree with you.
Yeah, I want to take leave now. I really enjoy talking to all of you. All of you, I really appreciate everybody. You guys are wonderful. Keep doing what we are doing. God will continue to bless you all.
Alaba, how soon are we seeing you again? Because it's been a long time.
It's because my job, I can't log in. I'll be listening, but I'm afraid, you both they watch you all the time. If I go log in from my job, the Vigo keep
Alaba, they busy where busy. They go around na international style. Forget all this where they talk. Now we know the level. All of it not be US today. We know the level. Work the old person, but you must create time. No matter what. Me as I talk to now, I dey work. I dey create my own time.
I go try to join more. At least when I come back in the evening, I go try to join. Yeah.
We expect to see you more.
Guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
It's true. Black Panther, if you see now for a very long time, you never see me. Not be say, hey, I don't want to come.
I mean, I know say I work now, but Alaba na international star. I dey see am for some network now.
Okay, I get you. It's not easy. When you don't engage, at times when we don't involve, we can't struggle to do one or two things.
Now English people, they always get time. All these England people, they always get time. Now queens, they all these queen and prince and king and everything, they get free tax money.
They don't start to. I bet Black Panther don't open on that topic.
Not be like us for you. We must pay. There's no free money in Freetown. They do get free thing for London.
London not free like that. Not what they think of. People they hustle.
American dream, the capitalist lifestyle.
Now everything are money, but they not be capitalists for London now. They do get social welfare package too much. Free me. You wake up in the morning. You wake up in the morning. You wake up in the morning. Make go there for your doorstep. You wake up in the morning. Newspaper go there for your doorstep. Where was of America? You go pay you.
So Black Panther, you mean say they could just give you free paper? This guy said.
Black Panther, where they share free newspaper for you?
They give you that milk now. You know they see milk for your doorstep.
I beg.
I mean, they don't stop her. Since we're queen, our queen don't go now. They don't stop our be. Now a compassionate queen now.
When Naija Watch don't come out.
That guy don't go chop. He don't sleep. Don't go chop at the yam.
Oh, I really appreciate being able to come in. I'll try and see what.
That's why I say one day I go come England. Make I come enjoy with CM and Naija Watch. At least. May I come see my king, my new king.
You go see, I know what if you go give money. You give me money.
Go show free day that place, plenty. I mean, they do anything there. It'll be good socialism. They practice and where they pass US now.
CM, you see this boy. CM, you see this guy. You see him out.
CM not be contestant and Allah talk.
No man. We say make we leave them on one day, or make we do one issue topic Oshomoleva, I mean, Obaseki versus Shaibu.
All those ones, they
Black,
an Hollywood
Black,
star. Them do.
Black Panther say he get facts where you no go reveal now.
I don't go. At the time, I don't go reveal and I make it in the play. Shebi when I talk say na Nollywood part 2, Mr. Naja will say no. But when they come play the video well, Mr. Madarita come play the video well. He can't say because I be the one, because one thing, I grow with elderly people. I grew up with elderly people. So I don't they used to using sign, using space, they talk. You know, I grew up with people who be like 70, 80 years old for house. So I they always like to use signs and picture they describe. When I was saying, look at the position of the governor, look at where he stay. You just say na so governor they do. He just say, just like person wants snap picture. He say, oh, snap me, I dey for near gig, snap me. Come, snap me, I dey here, snap me. Governor does not stand alone.
No, but Black Panther, there was a full conversation to that effect.
Because it was, if people didn't know that that was the back door, because that's not the gate of gate of deputy governor office. That's not the gate.
But there was a full, what about the phone conversation that he was speaking? He was saying
the phone conversation. No mind, I no do any conversation. I'm fake.
Black Panther.
I don't know. This one, I don't
know. Fake. If you want to go meet governor, you go meet governor direct. You don't need to call him. You go meet him direct. Nobody go block him. He have access. He has clearance.
You mean say the guy had to build him up.
If you want break that gate, nobody go arrest him. What's not the talk?
Now, what's I think? Why not break all the?
Nobody go arrest him. He go tell his guard, break the gate. Nobody go do it. Go break it. So, which commissioner will come arrest him? Tell me which commissioner. You lock my door.
Now politics that they play. Now politics.
So you all believe that video is real?
No, me I not believe when I didn't believe.
Okay, thank you, Black Panther. That guy you see.
So Shaibu feel say this tactics now you go take win and do people over.
Not so now.
You go play. When the time comes, say by the time you begin framing, like Mother Rita said, by the time you begin the plan, they read out in story this thing. Obaseki go say, me on ask him why you want to take backyard enter in office.
You see, they go start another topic, another Nollywood acting again.
He say, since you become governor, say you they take front door. Why you can't enter back door? Why make you go backyard? One take enter. Now thief this from backyard enter in office.
When I saw that video, I totally lost my respect for that guy. When I saw that video, that is the lowest. That is the lowest you can go as a deputy governor.
Can you imagine? He begin the call. I told him to come and open the door. I told you, governor did not want to pick my call. I told the PA, which kind of rubbish talk? But I break that door, not be the deputy governor. Who will hold your hand?
They call person where type personal house. They'll say
joint ticket. Joint ticket. You lock my door. They're not in short. Well, now I know, sha. Their game don't do over. They play their Nollywood. All this one they do. I don't talk about before. Saying part 2, part 3 they part 3 they come on a radio. All these Nigerian politicians, they be like drug dealers.
They be political barons.
See the way they make calls. See the way the camera is just video rap. Like saying they add in there for Nollywood this thing.
Now who focus on that?
Who in the fool?
And people go say, you know what? If na me, I go there. If I did that kind of you judge them. I said, okay, you come. You see, say you want enter. The gate lock, no. The person you're supposed to call now the number 1 citizen because now you be number 2. So nobody high pass you. The person go tell and say, no, but supposing number 1 no day, now you everybody know. So did you call number 1 or was it number 1 you were calling? Obaseki go fit say, now me you supposed to call. Did you call me? That one go be another case. Only say the guy is building up his case to use to attract sympathy, but we don't dey puncture the balloon now, small. People
How
go
can
say,
look? Ask yourself a question. How can a governor who no perform for a state, now joint ticket, now not even perform anything, Jaga, then he now lock you out? You now they call, then somebody they video you very well. You very sharp and clean. They video you, they say, I call this you they talk like boy. You are not talking as somebody that has power. You are talking like a subject
maybe
instead of an authority.
Maybe people go say may they arrest him. May they arrest
Can you
him.
imagine?
Maybe he want come plant one something.
Ordinary gate, ordinary gate. If deputy governor come out police for hand, go.
Black Panther, sorry. I think somebody
want to enter.
Yeah, Tokoma said he wants to enter. That Elvis should let him in. So we
You go shout wake Elvis today.
And I shall say.
Takoma will do like wise man.
But you see, to me, as I know be detective, but from some of the books I don't read or whatever, normally, by instinct, if you are genuine, you want to enter. Gate, they locked. The first thing you go do is you go shake them, say, who locked the gate now? Touch this, look through the gate, look inside, look for people, say, who lock them? But he just come, just there like this. You know, touch the gate.
You not touch anything.
No touch anything because of
fingerprint.
Fingerprint. Now he just the fear.
Now crime scene.
Mr. CM, I tell you one thing. You know, say these people, they don't trust themselves. You know, say as the gate they lock, now probably let's assume say the thing are true now. If you already there and say gate they lock, first of all, you go first shock, say the lock gate. Okay, what about if you say maybe breaking now? You know, some kind of small bomb come blast. Then governor come say because of this security, I lock up before why you enter inside there.
Governor not talk to Boko Haram, Abi.
He go fear life. He go fear life.
Or maybe as them they talk, maybe you go use the Abacha tactics. You know, this kind of thing. For you talk, Abacha go say they don't get tip off, say one container load of bomb they pass through there. Now they go do.
Yes,
they say intelligence don't tell them, say something go happen. So they go turn the story against you. If you work for Abacha and you're tired, you want to resign, you write your resignation letter, carry come. When he does, he say, make you wait now, then go discuss it. So make you hold on first. As you hold
okay, may I give you one example. The time where Obasanjo they fight with Atiku. You hear say Obasanjo lock door, say make this thing for Atiku. You hear that kind of thing?
No.
A joint ticket. You come the lock up like say na your boy. Now PAD. He's a deputy governor of a state elected as you were elected.
Wait, Obaseki go say he no say the lock gate. He said no, he say he no lock any gate. He said but why you want enter through? He go say but why you want enter through backyard? Now backyard.
The film no good well. If you enter through front door, you go past backyard.
So Obaseki go say the front door they open it. Now so in the he said no he said okay with why in they go backyard? Why? Front door they open. Peter be say you can't enter through the window. Begin one
and sweep the house.
Wait back we talk one thing. The same Obaseki we say we want to do this as assembly issue. He lock and say they want to refurbish and say they want to reconstruct as assembly.
Can you imagine?
In fact, that House of Assembly I see not only you lock them. They go carry tipper, go tip sand.
Carry concrete.
Pass and block the door.
Concrete. If you say block be say by the time they don't tip sand for main road, where you go drive past now? You go tip concrete here, tip sand here. Say they want.
That man a wicked man, sha.
But now I know say
he wicked. But you know why?
Person we handle weak. You know.
You know why they won't, if you tell ordinary person, make you really look the whole thing. The thing look like movie. You see, there are some kind of things you go do. You know you are leaving office. You cannot put yourself so low like that as a governor. Say you want to lock your deputy out. How you go say you go lock your deputy outside? You get the power.
See him like that. Now you the interpret and say lock him out. Obaseki go say the front door. Or if it go to obedient, he say Peter Obi don't talk. Say you no go enter through window. You want come sweep house. He say the front door they open now. Which one in the talk? Oh, in the what in the find for backyard? You see, when I ask him why he want to enter through backyard, what thing happen? So he say so if he go even deny saying no do him.
Yeah, if Obaseki come out tomorrow, he'll say that so this same guy come out say he want a picture.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, now so now.
He doesn't say he locked door against him. What did he do? This
Can you imagine?
He say what did he do him? He say locked door for what? He say no be door way he say the door way they take come walk. Now him be this, now him be. People go say no be that one. Now backyard is okay. When I ask them what thing they go do for backyard. Now backyard the person they take
No mind them. They deceive. They deceive. They find sympathy. And you want to see? There's one thing I do after I listen to everybody. I go listen to Naija Watch again. I do that thing, and I want everybody to be doing it. You see, there's one thing I notice. When somebody says something, we should grab it, even if it's not relevant. We should make sure we grab it, because when I saw this thing coming, me and Shaibu don't work together one day for school. Shaibu did 3 years ahead of me. I was a senator. Now I don't work with him before. I know him. He's a very gentleman, but that guy he rugged though.
Yes, now.
Like he rugged pieces. He quiet for looking, but he rugged. Look. If he shouts here, people will go come outside for because of him. They go plenty. He just they play. If na real fight, Obaseki no fit fight him. Obaseki no fit fight him. If you say we want do real political craziness, Obaseki no go fit fight him. That is why when I look at him, I say this thing a game now. Try to pass this level. Try to when you say the waka like this for school. If you see people where they follow him, you not fit near him. You not fit near him.
No, Mr. CM, this game different though. This present game so different.
It's still they develop. You know, saying that 2024. It's still they develop.
This game we did grass where you know where this game from the come. This game
you know go blink.
It come from when this guy tells us this Ashaibu tells you one contest come from. Now there problem start.
Now there problem start too.
Now there problem start. And if you not take that problem will kill him.
That's so now.
You know people where they against them for this governor when we contest with all the issue, all the Edo Central, all of them against them.
Exactly, man. It's justified.
All of them against them. So
it's justified.
They're against and all Edo people, the all the South Southerners, they're against this guy because of that.
You know why they're confident. You know why they're confident. Nigerian politicians, all of them, they know they stable. They be like a prostitute. Yeah. That is why I know they look at all those say one people no day for them, one day against them. The guy they play the main game. If you get ticket now, my brother, all this way they shout say they don't like you. All of them go line up, they collect money, they go line up long, reach Ajakuta, they go line up.
The last way go happen for Edo na make Obaseki give ticket to Shaibu. I said go come from another party.
Who send all of themselves? I don't follow them again.
It can never happen. Do you know? I mean, I'm not sure say when I see because the video.
But the question be say, who go cover Obaseki as Inyash now?
He go now person go there. He go choose person from Edo Central. You see,
Oh, but that place violent too.
he go get as he did so. No,
No, somebody will come out for Edo Central. Somebody will come out with time. Just the words.
Some Abaseki go annoy
Somebody will
somebody
come out.
from there.
At the end of the day, they will harmonize. They will harmonize.
You know what I know if you say, supposing say like you now or Black Panther say you did somewhere for one occasion and you can't see me for gate. They argue with security men. They no one let me. Immediately you don't see me. You go tell security, say, hey, leave and I see him. Me wanna leave and
I know.
So Obaseki Day, that Edo 60-year celebration, the people will be Edo Delta, cream de la cream, Fulham. People where you Professor Osagi, Professor Eros Osagi of
former Bendelite.
Exact former band, all of them there, and the thing are grand. Everybody full. Obaseki Day there. Oshomole Day the other side. Shaibu they argue with security. Obaseki see me no talk. Say na plan.
If your main man there against you and our greatest enemy.
Shaibu there, they tell them say in a VP, in a number 2 citizen of the entire Edo state. They tell and say no. According to the protocol, we're not gonna allow you in. We go scream. Meanwhile, Obaseki they look waiting they happen. Say na plan. That one na the first one. Talk. Meanwhile, Oshomole stand, they go praise Obaseki, they shake and even snap photo. I say yes, it don't start. Then after that, immediate team where they follow Shaibu, they do Pasmaga. He disband them.
Straight away.
Disband the team. Say if you need anything, go Ministry of Information. May they give you journalists. As for these ones, they again. Now, see where I want enter office. This thing a long drawn battle. Maybe Obaseki go they make when he play this card, he go see say the only thing we go save Shaibu. To be honest with you, go and reconcile with him and drop this ambition. My reason being that, there's a way. There's what they call, even if a blind man from anywhere.
Yeah.
They say you and the Oshomole come from the same place. Oshomole do 8 years, hand over to Obaseki. Obaseki finish, you can't hand over. It's like handing over to Oshomole again. That one no good now. It's not good.
And while Oshomole was there, he was a member of House of Reps.
Exactly.
When Oshomole left, he became the deputy governor for another 8 years.
Deputy governor.
What do you want?
Exactly. When even then, say if to say in still day young, you can bid your time. Say
yes.
after this thing, after maybe 8 years of Central, you add 8 years to your age. Already now you go be kingmaker there because you go this prominent. Maybe now you go even say Obaseki say, who do we bring? Obaseki go say, let's this. He go say, okay, from Central. Then you look for who go be deputy with them. Then you go they walk towards, say, even if you get interest. You do it like that. People go know. How you go just stay from this? The annoying thing is that you and the Oshomole come from the same place. Even for the north.
The same home, the same house.
Okay. Even for the north, Edo North. Do many Edo North no go even like him. You go say, even if you go come Edo North, it cannot be for this particular home again. We day here for nothing. So that alone, no.
It's a selfish ambition. It's a selfish
ambition. Who they call and say, I don't know.
Now they look at him like selfish ambition. This guy,
that is what
say if he go down, if he go down, all politicians are selfish. The ambitions are not selfish. If he go down, he go there irrelevant. He go there irrelevant. Nobody want there irrelevant again. Everybody want to be relevant. That is why they fight.
You can still be relevant, for the party.
Listen.
Politics.
No. Lampata, let me give you an example. If, for instance, like Shaibu now, if he wants to be very, very relevant, by now Shaibu is supposed to carry. It was Shaibu they carry one Edo Central candidate. Now he make Obaseki the war and so on. Everybody for support him.
Exactly.
And then he will not be a stakeholder in that in that
Yes, in the next coming administration.
Yeah, the next coming
Yes.
administration. Now strategy
be-
person they use. Now
na
make me love
strategy.
You know what he did there? Shaibu, if he drop that deputy, the way they go kick and a football come up for Edo politics, he go long die. Because you know what?
No,
they don't block. Look, they don't block all the access. House of Rep block, Senate block, the governorship now block. Where you want go? If you want go leadership, no agree for that.
Yeah.
You know why? Because
because he don't show in hand before. If he had adopted this strategy where we the talk now, you can block all this.
Initially, if this was his initial strategy,
you can't block him now because
now everything is too late now.
It's too late. Everybody don't see in hand. Anything where they do now, then go say, so we not trust you. But he's supposed to know now.
Politics, they will tell you say all die now die you. That's what they talk.
Okay.
And you know, politicians they do one thing until the thing show for their face, they don't realize them. You know,
yes, now.
Especially if they power, they feel say they can do or not do.
Yeah, they
can. It's set for their head.
They can walk
Obaseki where they preach say no godfatherism. Not being they swallow and vomit so.
I saw it be now. I saw them be.
Not be they swallow. I said they know they change. All of them know they change. They be like
you go see the
like vampire.
Obaseki, Oshomole go do relevant pass Obaseki later. You will see the way go tell.
It's true, yes, exactly.
You see
exactly.
Because Oshomole is a senator. A senator very important.
A lot of people from Edona don't they realize the mistake where they make, where they work for Obaseki against Oshomole. A lot of people don't realize them because Oshomole, in whichever way, he is still very, very loyal to Benin Monarch, and Edo people they like that kind of thing. Because Oshomole know the medicine way the whole Edo people they drink. You know they are paracetamol. You see all these guys.
But now Shaibu bring and come now.
Yeah, Shaibu bring and come, but Shaibu is you Shaibu take come down. But Oshomole no, not be Shaibu, not maybe that mistake. Not be Shaibu bring and come and do. Shaibu
bring and come.
Yeah, okay. May I tell you the story? Shaibu, you know, Shaibu father and I bring Oshomole up. You know, Oshomole came as the leader. Now Oshomole formed this Labour Party where Obi for common. So now Oshomole form Oshomole I form at the time we be Labour chairman. Now they form this Labour Party when he did under Obasanjo when he be chairman for LSC. Then they formed this party. So he came down when he come that time 2006 against 2007 election. He was coming as a Labour Party candidate, only candidate of Labour Party to come and contest in Edo. So when he came, the Edos had issue. The PDP in Edo had issue there. They were fragmented between Aneni and Lucky Medium. They had issue that time. They had this Grace group that was with Lucky Medium and the old PDP that was with Tony Aneni. You know, so when he came, it was an opportunity for them to present a candidate that will be able to fight because PDP had a very credible candidate. The Edo were tired of PDP because they were not doing anything. Lucky Medium didn't do anything. Was just sharing money and misbehaving, pouring gravel everywhere. So they wanted anything that will eliminate PDP. But PDP had a very good candidate, which was Osumbo then, Professor Osumbo. So they were looking for
Osareme
Osumbo. So they were looking for somebody to fight that man so that they can so that they can eradicate PDP. But because of Professor Osumbo, people were not sympathizing with PDP because of the person they presented. So Lucky Medium and they were pushing Lucky Medium away under the Grace group because Aneni side was carrying a Professor Osumbo. So Medium was almost irrelevant in a PDP because they were having Grace group. So what they now did was that they didn't have good candidate there to present as PDP that will run against Professor Osumbo to win the primaries. So they faced difficulty there. So Professor Osumbo was able to, they saw that Professor Osumbo was able to take the ticket. Then they were now working with AC, which is presently APC now with the nation. So that AC was the Action Congress then that they they were looking for who to become their candidate. They didn't get anybody. They were only having one guy, a guy's name Akakasiaka. You know, I can't remember. He was a commissioner during Lucky Bunedion's regime twice. So, and they had this man that contested against this present governor, this pastor, what's his name? So they had this pastor and other candidates. So when this guy was coming, Oshomole was just coming as a candidate of Labour. So they now went to speak to Oshomole and say, okay, don't worry, what you need to do, we have to merge Labour with AC. You are a credible candidate that will be able to fight Osumbo. So Oshomole became a candidate of AC, which is Action Congress. That was how they ran the election, and they ranked that they ring the election against Oshomole. Then Oshomole took the people in the street, and he took his mandate back at the end of the day, because Lucky Bunedion was not. Why they were able to take that power from Osumbo, because Osumbo ruled for 2 years. Lucky Bunedion and his father and the Grace Group were not supporting PDP, but they were still in PDP, just as this man did. What's his name? Wike did against PDP now. So that was how they lose in the court and gave it to Oshomole. That was the grace that Oshomole had. Then Oshomole became the governor. So that was how Oshomole came. Not even, it was Oshomole that now went to ask Shaibu to come down, to come up, because Shaibu was back in playing election, running, helping him to play his politics in the northern side, because his father was very powerful in the donut side. So that was how he came out. So as Shaibu was now growing now, then they now groom Lucky, this present governor. What's his name? Our present governor.
Okay, Obaseki.
They now groom Obaseki against the people, because they didn't want Obaseki to, because the deputy of Oshomole then was running as running for governor. They didn't allow him. Oshomole presented, he forced Obaseki against the people. So when Obaseki became the governor now, then he started messing Oshomole up. He now used Shaibu, because he gave him Shaibu to deputize for him. Then he now used Shaibu against Oshomole. That was how they were able to push Oshomole away. Now Oshomole now started. It was the impeachment of Oshomole when he was the chairman. They started from the local government council level, when they suspended him as a member of APC then, when he was the chairman. So that was how they planted. Obaseki is a deadly poison in politics.
It's true.
You see, before Wike will come say this guy betrayed the run for a vein. A whole Wike can't run.
It's true.
What you see,
but anybody will handle Wike well now. Sure. He say Wike can think say he go give him a delegate for PDP.
Okay,
he talk him, or Obaseki talk him. He say don't do like that.
Okay.
He said it was just so that the whole of a delegate PDP go vote for Wike for convention. Listen to him. Just can I make Wike cry? Obaseki handle him. To me, the one about whatever they read, that's the way I read certain things. A whole 60-year anniversary, then they do who is who in the old Bendel State or Midwest. They were there celebrating, talking about the experience. Obaseki they there as the chief host. Now Shaibu they gate, they argue with security, they don't let them in. Obaseki see him, talk. That it means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That when I saw the thing, I say yes, this man now be the real practical politician. Now be the this one Shaibu no. Obaseki pass am well. He they use system, they follow him. And
yes,
but that thing when you do there, you don't put am for trouble. So
who he put for trouble?
He go see him for front. You see, politicians they never forgive. They never take their pound of flesh. They never forgive. Nigerian politicians they never forgive at all. They go take their pound of flesh.
The only way Shaibu go take deal with Obaseki be say if all these things Shaibu become governor, he go revisit so many. But if to say all these things in the end, the way they see him, Shuaibu no go make him. Even if you like make it go back to APC and stand as election, I don't think so because Obaseki don't they dent and now they deal with them now. Between now and they still file,
See,
be say,
let me tell you
between
the
now
game.
till
Let
November
me tell you
next
the
year.
game.
Yeah.
Mr. Say, let me tell you the game. If Obaseki no give, if Shuaibu no succeed for that Obaseki party, Shuaibu get ticket for another place, can't come up, and then Obaseki can't bring candidate. Obaseki go lose.
No, not make that mistake.
No, he go lose because you know how he go to be. See, Shuaibu is a stakeholder in Edo politics. You cannot take that away from him. And Shuaibu has more people get more sympathy for Shuaibu than Obaseki. If you want to talk
do you know? Okay,
if you want to talk him plainly.
Do you think I want to do it on
if you put Obaseki for table now, you put Shuaibu there, people go prefer Shuaibu than Obaseki.
Okay, good. But what you need to know, there is one thing you need to know, Mr. CM. Sorry to cut you short. What you need to know right now, the contest is not between Obaseki and Shuaibu right now. The contest is between Shuaibu and somebody else that is coming. And Obaseki is not contesting any election right now. It's in 2024, Obaseki is irrelevant. So if you're able to understand that Obaseki is irrelevant, then you should know that the problem is going to fall on Shuaibu because they are going to present a candidate from Edo Central. And once that is done, Shuaibu is gone.
Exactly, because the whole of Edo Central will throw sympathy votes. Then with Obaseki's influence in Edo South, you go the campaign for Edo Central.
Yes, that's the end. Because Edo North is just like 25%.
Obaseki go tell them, say, go take your deputy from Edo North, no be Edo South, because Edo South just finished.
And once Edo North bring deputy from Edo Central, they bring deputy from Edo North. All the wings where Shuaibu get is broken. And Shuaibu first of all, no time we did deliver Edo North for Obaseki. Now Shomole get that area. So if they just bring somebody deputy from Edo North, he just go loyal to Shomole. Shuaibu will be on the show. Shuaibu will enter motor, may they go Port Harcourt.
That is the deal. That is the politics this guy go play. Because the moment Edo Central bring candidate, now everybody go vote for. Then he go tell us, don't worry about the South. If you get secretary to the government from the South, go take deputy from the North. And they go the area for the North where it's something like Shuaibu know the two, and they know they represent them well. Go there, go carry people. Then go say, you go tell them, say, now one step on I don't become governor, bring deputy. No,
they'll come Edo, they'll get majority leader and a speaker from Edo.
Yes.
Other important position. That's strategy now.
Now strategy before you know, because no, you can't already don't they show and say a person now. So there's nothing. Don't they clip in wings. Disband the media team. People were going to help and do propaganda. You disband them.
See, waiting go look at me. I won maybe I two. You see all this Nollywood when they play now, Me, I love it because it go favor Labour Party. All this nonsense game where they play, they say that they deceive us. Now they said that they deceive because I am following them to bumper to bumper. I want them when they will finish their total game, they go reach one end point, then go flop. Let Shuaibu
and another medicine.
I pray make Shuaibu go another party. Get the ticket.
If Labour Party gets political strategy now, before it's too late, they should go and pick out a candidate from Edo Central.
No, now Edo Central they pick now. That one don't they show now. Now Edo Central they want pick from.
That
they want pick from.
That will
because they don't see the demography. Now Edo Central turn. Now they want pick from. They don't decide that. Now they want pick from. Make Shuaibu go get ticket. And the premier Shuaibu go get ticket from that party. He go split the PDP vote. That is what I want. So that I go there, they go they shout, wait. Before they shout, we don't win.
So,
even Black Panthers, even they call this shot. Is Shuaibu sure of in Edo North? Is he sure? Is he in the bag for him? Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Is Edo North? Is it in the bag for Shuaibu? Is he sure? Can he?
No. He can't
say
deliver. He can't even deliver a donut. He can't deliver a donut.
So no be say
Oshomole
this thing.
is there as an antagonist.
Exactly. He can't deliver it. He can't just, it's not in the bag for him. So
At
that
all.
is also
Yeah.
this thing. The only thing that it should be in the bag that anybody from Edo Central go win Edo Central. Because they will say, look, it's our turn now to produce. So anybody
Yeah.
from Edo Central go
And I
win
don't
Edo Central.
we support that person 100%.
We support the person because about he go play the politics where P2B play for Anambra then. When the South will be billionaires talk, P2B say, no, this thing go north. After me, P2B is from Central. He say they go north. He say, they are our brothers now. Every time we go, they select from South and Central. He say, no, north in they go. Talk anything where you love. Say no. Everybody can say, okay, the whole party go north, go choose. Eventually, north, engage. So Opaseki go, they say, no. In Edo State, that's a way we do our things. We are brothers. The last person that have been a governor from the south, Igbinedion has been a governor from the south, Oshomole from the north. It's only good that somebody from the central should be. We in the south has produced deputy governor to Oshomole. North produced deputy governor to me. Then where is central? Immediately talk and everybody could say, yes, this man is a nice man. Therefore, Obaseki go say, this is the person we vote for. And we even tell Edo South, call them, say, look, we've had this thing for 8 years. From Igbinedion, 8 years. Me Obaseki, 8 years. And we've got deputy before under Oshomole. So it's only fair we give it to Edo Central. So that when next we finish, there's a way we just say, so Shaib is kicking a dead horse. People not giving look am. People not giving look am.
All right, bro. May I leave you? Don't you? I really appreciate it.
Me self, I want go. Yeah, me self, I want go sleep. Ona try you. Thank you.
Mr.
Good
Black
night,
Panther, you do well.
Black Panther, thank you. Good night. See you people tomorrow. Good night.
I do well.
And same thing with
the
Chris.
background, they listening to all of them.
Okay, Chris. Chris, for this Obaseki now, where your vote go? You and from Edo State, Abi?
Okay. You say where my vote go?
You are from Edo State, aren't you?
What you talk?
I said for Edo 2024. Now where your vote go?
Anything but Obaseki.
No, Obaseki don't finish in turn.
He will support somebody now.
But what if he supports a saint? What? No, the person
he not go ever support his saint. Now criminal he go support.
Capacity is too wicked. He doesn't have the capacity to do good.
He really they deal with Shuaibu. They teach and loyalty. Anyway, well, the thing is, whether say when you enter final year for school, they say pass and pass out, fail and fail out. So my own in they do now. When he finish, he will just go. I leave him. Okay.
My own Labour Party, any Labour Party, because OT they perform for Abia very well. And they follow and well, they perform very well. So we need somebody. We need a new party in Edo State. All those old PDP, APC, all those brag. We don't want them at all. Make them go rest.
Make Labour Party. You see, with this thing, what happened between Shaibu and Obaseki, Labour Party should just use now to really go central, go look for real. That is somebody that if you bring and where people go say from head to toe, they say yes.
Yes, that is what we need. Somebody that is acceptable. Can sell out, can sell.
And they
vision.
And they have time now. They still have good time in their hands to make a
because all this Shuaibu and listen, I just they steal money. Now they will continue. They'll come to tell you story after the end of the tenure.
It's true. They have to seize the opportunity to get something good.
I just praise OT and I love the way it's moving. When they say no money, no money, that guy they build road, they go. No money, no money. The guy they renovate hospital. No money, no money. The guy they employ new nurse and doctor. No money, no money. He they renovate the old road where they do. He they come out the top layer. They put new layer. No money, no money. Oh. How much have you get? Where those states no get? All these criminals were full Nigerian politics. So, Mr. CM, make I go continue with what they do for hand. So we'll meet tomorrow.
We meet tomorrow.
Have a good night and God bless you all.
Black Panther, good night.
Yeah, good night, sir.